Oh, there we go. Hello, everybody. I don't know what happened there. I thought it went live and then it didn't. Welcome back to Masks Monday. And we are back for session 36 of Masks of Nyarlathotep. We are going to go round as per usual before we get right back into a pretty potential conflict that's just gone down with a certain notorious tea shop owner. But first, let's introduce Mr. Perry Astor.
Perry Astor, Canadian explorer, and I didn't know you could get a tea shop owner that was so dangerous. Actually, I've been kidnapped. I've just jumped out of the lorry that I've been in with the one of the assailants, and hoping that the rest of the team can stop the lorry before it makes its getaway with all our kit.
You should credit Paul Fricker and friends because he was the one who was in charge of the Kenya chapter. So that's down to him.
Aha, excellent.
And we have Charles Barrington-Smythe.
Yes. I have no problem believing in dangerous tea shop people. I mean, the entirety of one particular brand sells itself on 2,000 perforations, which I think is what they want to do to us if they actually catch us. Yes, as we get into this possibly final session, as we've been saying for the last 20, has been about the last 20 sessions we've said this could be the final session.
It's not the final session. We've got Shanghai we've not been to, Australia. We're nowhere near the end of the big summoning of Nyarlathotep anyway. This is the preview summoning.
Maybe the end for these characters.
It could be the end for these characters.
Sure. Given I'm on my third, I won't argue with that.
Yeah, speaking of third character, we've got Annie Jones.
Hello. I'm the one that's managed to survive Perry Astor so far.
Give me time, I've been wounded.
Can't wait till you're back in action.
And hopefully has secured transport and or other potential goodies from a wise man. And finally, we have our one and only Pranit Singh Dillon.
Yes, indeed. My name is Pranit. I'm a former Sikh soldier that's been investigating the horrors that's been unraveling throughout the world since England. Yes, seeing a lot of friends pass, we could put it that way. Some of them were killed by some of his party members, but I mean, who am I to judge? Also, I'm doing the summary this session, and we start with Annie Jones that already has had enough of us, so decides to go and listen to some sort of African gentleman who's giving a speech in front of the Kikuyu study center. There are a lot of people listening to him and say something of like, I'll go, I'm going, you can count on me, like they're going on some sort of, I don't know, expedition of sorts. Annie, being the only one that speaks this language, is trying to understand, and apparently the person speaking is Johnston Kenyatta, that is sort of aware of the cult, or at least that something's off around the area, and says that he wished to leave all that sort of things behind him, meaning God knows what, and says that his uncle was some sort of a diviner, so he's been around this sort of things since he was a young boy. Al-Bundari apparently is a wise man who can maybe help us stop these cultists that are already leaving for the mountain for the summoning in the next few days. Meanwhile, Charles Perry and I go to the hotel where our room is catching fire, only to find out that somehow I'm being framed by Madame Kaur, because yes, my luggage is melted open. My biggest sword is laying on the table with the black book that my friend recently acquired from her tea shop. with some useful pages burned to a crisp. Of course, the hotel staff is all for calling the police and such. And of course, being the good soldier that I am, I try and flee as far as I can. In the meantime, Annie needs to wait for a friend and go through a yellow door. So she enters a car and goes to a village where she meets this Bundari man, which is about 80 years old and meditating, sitting very, very still. He had a vision about the Carlisle expedition, and allegedly he says that Hypatia Masters, that goes now by the name of, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly, Mweru, is still at the mountain, and it is prophesied that her son will be coming and maybe end the world as we know it. The son being the one of Hypatia Masters and Nyarlathotep himself. There is also a series of books of a son that contain the knowledge on how to fight the cult and create a new seal, given the fact that we only have half of the previous one. But it is in the Far East in a large city by the coast. Maybe Shanghai, who knows? But there is also this beautiful woman who wants these books as well. We don't know who this woman might be. Also, Annie is given a really weird-looking chameleon. I'm sorry, my pronunciation is shit tonight. And a flying whisk that allegedly will be useful to us. Maybe, we don't know.
A fly whisk. It's not quite flying yet. It's not
fly
magical
whisk.
like that. It's not a flying whisk.
Yeah, I wrote that wrong. In the meantime, while we are running from the authorities, I managed to sneak into a mosque waiting for my friend to be clear to meet up. And we decide to meet up in front of the government house. Then we also meet, and somehow weirdly, with Annie, that wants to go to Fort Smith in order to obtain some sort of allies for us to go to the mountain and maybe oppose, at the very least, these cultists. We are also getting a car, a lot of supplies, but the drivers have some sort of red scarf and are threatening our good friend Perry that maybe this time will try and just save himself instead of putting others into harm's way or endangering them. And we almost closed the session there because we also saw that Taan Kaur is there as well. So now maybe combat will ensue. Maybe. I hope not.
Maybe.
But I don't think she will listen to reason. We'll see.
Would you like to get your extra luck for your recap?
That's a 4.
Ooh. So how much have you got now? Is that 23?
Yes, indeed.
Okay. Annie, how much luck are you on now?
You're muted.
Smart ass. I remain on 75.
You may
Perry?
25 for me.
5 and Charles.
I'm on 46 luck.
Of course, no change there. And no change on sanity either.
Not yet.
Rightly. Okay. Yes, so we jump right back in. There's been a little bit of a scuffle in the front of the truck anyway, and Perry's managed to throw the cultist who was on his left out of the truck. I can't quite remember. Did you try and get out yourself, or have we not got that far yet?
Yeah, we did. I sort of I stabbed him with the Bowie knife.
Yeah, and then you
I sort of
pushed him
grabbed his
out.
lapels and threw him against the door and followed him out to land on him instead of me hitting the dirt. land on him.
Okay. And the rest of you, I mean, the soldiers are kind of either side. Nails, for example, is still on the driver's side. But the others, you're near the back, and indeed the doors have flung open. Taan Kaur is there, saying her hellos. And there's also 2 more cultists in the back with her, and they are brandishing pangas and clubs.
Ooh.
Oh, that's a little unsporting.
Would you like to tell me, Pranit, where you are going?
Well, I'm going, of course, scimitar in hand towards them.
I thought as much. Well, I guess that was a brief exchange and negotiations. So I guess we're going into initiative.
Well, I am going into initiative. I don't know about the others.
Don't you know the United Nations stance that you just don't negotiate with teashop owners?
Okay, so it just so happens that the cultists in the back of the truck are first. So yeah, they're going to both rush out. One's going to go for Perry. I'll just roll for the other 2 of you. See, go for Charles. So first one for Perry. That is a hit. Are you going to dodge, or are you going to fight back? Sorry, Pranit. I beg your pardon, not Perry. You're at the front.
Oh, if he's going for me, I'm going to counterattack.
You're going to counterattack. Okay. So currently that's a regular pass.
I'm sorry for him. That's an extreme for me.
Oh, okay. We'll get back to you in a second. And against Charles, that is definitely a miss. Again, are you fighting back? Are you dodging? What are you doing?
I'm going to. I think the polite term is deck the blighter.
Okay.
Or punch him one.
All right. Make you roll then.
I have to just check that. Yes, that's what's called an extreme punch in the face.
Wow, so 2 extremes. Okay. Right. So, Pranit, you said you were going with your sword, right? So that is indeed
Yes.
an impale. So it is maximum damage plus another die roll. So that's probably going to eviscerate the first one. And then for Charles, that is basically just your maximum damage if there were no
Be
die rolls
7
involved.
points then.
So 7 from you. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, my maximum damage with the saber is 13.
Okay. And then you roll on top of that.
Oh, I thought that was enough.
I mean, it is.
So that's another 10.
Oh my God. Okay. It's a shame we don't get ticks for these because you're fighting back. But anyway, right. So the first one that goes for Pranit is literally eviscerated. Whether you decapitate him in your kind of signature move or something else is up to you. But he is completely and utterly just chopped in half. For Charles's victim, I suppose. Oh yeah, he is clobbered unconscious. You don't know if he's got any life left in him. It's not quite as bad as being sliced up with a saber dance, but it's a major wound. Let's put it like that, and he's gone unconscious. Right. Well, that was his takeover. Okay. So next we've got one of the soldiers, Origi. So Origi's actually going to come and help you, Perry. So he's going to just come round, try and pull the other guy away from you as well. So he's going to be doing that. Then it is Ms. Kaur. So she is going to start chanting some funky words, but she is keeping pretty far back inside the truck. It's quite dark in there as well. But yeah, you can hear her muttering something under her breath in very cultist fashion. Next it is Perry.
Okay, can I pull the knife out of the guy that I stabbed?
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
And turn and try and climb back in the cab to hold the other one, or hold the knife to his throat and turn the
Oh yeah, it's
engine
the driver.
The driver,
Yes, you can. That'll kind of be that'll be mostly a maneuver. You could you could try and grapple the driver if you wanted. If not, if you're just kind of getting near, then basically he's gonna go straight for you on his go when it comes around.
Well, I want to hold my knife out to him, so if he knows that.
Okay, so more just
he's probably
kind of
got both hands on the wheel, I
outstretched.
expect. So I can just
Yeah.
put a knife to his throat, turn the engine off now, don't move.
Okay, coolio. Okay, actually, roll me an intimidate for that.
Oh damn, that's not great. Intimidate is 45, and that is a hideous miss. That's a 98.
Oof. Actually, what am I talking about? You've got a knife to his throat. You can have a bonus die. Why not?
Oh, hang on.
Oh, by the way, remember
You
the rest
already
of all have
you
bonus
already
dice.
gave us a bonus die as well.
Yeah, but for this situational purpose, you can also get a bonus die for that.
That was an 8.
Okay, yeah. So he's gonna definitely take his hands off the wheel when it gets around to his go. But first, we've got Sam. So what Sam's gonna do at this point? He's been staying back a bit anyway for now. You think maybe going to get help either from Kenyatta around the corner. It's somewhere in that vicinity. He's moving off. Nails is basically going to open the driver door and also kind of be there and outnumber, and he's going to get out. Actually, no, he hasn't got a knife on him at the minute, but he's got his rifle. So he's basically just going to point it at the driver for now. So the driver is definitely intimidated, but he is still going to try and lash out.
Okay.
But basically, I'm going to give him a penalty because he's nervous. The penalty die missed. So yeah, he tries to go for whoever's opening the door and maybe shut it, but it's too quick for him and he doesn't. Next is Bumption. Bumption is going to point his rifle into the truck and kind of aim and call out, "Whoever's in there, I don't care what you're chanting there, but you're going to come out of here." But you can hear a little bit of nervousness in his voice. And then it says Annie. Muted.
I'm going to draw my derringer and move up to the back of the truck so I can aim at Queen T-Bitch.
Okay, so you're going to take this turn to aim as well. Okay.
Yeah. The truck's not moving, is it?
No, it's not moving at the moment.
Yeah, okay.
So the cultist who is on the floor outside, you've basically taken the knife out and he wailed in pain. I'm just going to see if he remains conscious from that. And yeah, just about he does. So he's going to basically try and get up and head straight for you. But again, given his state, and he's trying to get up as well, I'm going to give him a penalty as well. Given where you are, you're sitting, well, not sitting, but you're kind of kneeling, aren't you, in the truck? So you don't really have room to dodge, but you could try and turn back around and fight back if you wanted, Perry.
Okay. If he, I'll almost kneeling on the girth. I assume it's like a bench seat across, and those old cars.
Like a
almost kneeling on that, holding my knife to the driver's throat. So if he does come up behind me, I will kick out at him.
Okay, yeah. So he's going to try and do it anyway, but again with a penalty. Yep, and once again the penalty was a fail, and the other one was amazing. So he's just kind of staggering, and you feel the truck shift a little bit at the front from where you think he's grabbed onto the door, but he just can't really reach enough yet. And then it is Charles.
Yes. Are there is there any of the cultists near me at this point?
I mean, there's the one that you've just clobbered, and he's
I'm not worried about him. He's done.
The other one is sliced into bits. The other two, they're basically at the front of the truck. So there's one who's sitting in the driver's seat. The other one is trying to get back in.
I
the
sort
left
of
side.
I shout over to the soldiers, who I see us kind of aiming, but they're not actually shooting as yet. I actually shout at them, "Look, I am all for the emancipation of women, but that's not a woman you want to be giving free speech at a stage to. Fire!"
Oh, you distract them.
Okay. And Kipken Boy, he is also going to aim his rifle inside the truck. He's kind of looking, though, towards his sergeant for orders, and the sergeant is a little bit reluctant to do anything for the moment because you think that they don't really know, obviously, as much as you do about who these people are. However, Charles, you could give me either a persuade or an intimidate to see if Kipken Boy fires this turn.
Why can I never charm these people into firing? I mean, seriously.
Say that again, but slowly.
Hey, you sexy beast. Would you
You have your
mind
bonus
pulling
die?
that trigger?
You'd look so much more manly if you squeezed that trigger.
You do have a bonus die as well, Charles, if you want to use it.
I think I might have to. I think my persuade is possibly better than my intimidate. No, actually, I'm actually slightly better at intimidating. Not by much. I will be using my bonus die.
Okay.
And rolling the exact same fucking fail again.
Oh dear. Okay.
Can I not just charm these bastards into firing? I mean, what does it take?
Oh, is that your rifle, or you're just happy to see me?
So Kipken Boy looks at you and then looks back at the sergeant, looks at you, and really isn't sure whether to comply with his superior or whether to go with the guy who's shouting, the British guy who's shouting him.
Gentlemen, discharge your weapons.
Oh no!
Are you planning to do anything yourself, like any other sort of action besides speaking this turn?
I'm going to try and get closer to the truck. I mean, I'm not armed, but
Okay.
fists have been far better for me anyway than shooting. So,
which side are you going down?
Passenger side.
Passenger side. Okay, so on the left. Cool. Okay. Right. So end of the round. Pranit, you do indeed have the lowest luck score still. Can you give me a group luck roll?
Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! 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 No!
Mateo.
That's a pass. 16.
Is that the first group luck roll you guys have ever passed? I think
Yes.
It
maybe.
is, yeah.
Oh my goodness.
That's
Well,
a 10.
We've
Yes,
passed
it's
in the prologue, but not since America when I had to use all my luck because 2 players weren't here. And since then, we've always had a player with no luck.
Prologue, schmolog. Okay, awesome. Right. So basically what happens is, especially for those of you who are kind of aiming, waiting for something to happen, you suddenly feel the odd raindrop either on your hand or shoulder, and it's definitely starting to rain. And you hear a very distant thunderclap coming from up the plains, up in the north. However, we are back to the front of the queue, as it were. It is going to be Origi. So Origi's basically going to come and help you out, Perry. So he's still outside. He's going to try and grapple the one that's trying to get back in.
Sure.
Okay. Is that a hard? Yeah, of course it's a hard one we're talking about. And then the other one. Oh, okay. Although that's just been okay. So he grabs him really, really with a lot of ferocity, but for some reason, whether it's adrenaline or something, he is pushed off. and he almost gets knocked backwards. So he's going to try and get back to him, but yeah, no, he fails. Right, Ms. Kaur, she is still chanting, and her voice and her volume is getting louder and quicker. And you can see from here, Annie in particular, as does the sergeant and Kipken boy, you see two small but very familiar bright balls of light appearing just above her head. And you see that you didn't notice this before, whether she was wearing it before or not, but you see this glint of red ruby on a ring that she's wearing.
Mm-hmm.
So that is carrying on. Then who is next? Perry is next.
Okay, so Brady has this guy covered with his rifle, doesn't he?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I want to climb back out of my side, at the passenger side, and deal with the other guy that's trying to get in. So I'll tackle him.
Okay, cool. Yeah, you can do that. And technically you're outnumbering now because of the other guy. So you can have a bonus die for that.
And I'm heading that way as well.
Mm-hmm.
Passenger side.
Yeah, exactly. Although you don't mean Brady, do you? You mean Nails. Although they are linked
Nails, yeah.
characters.
Okay, so that's a normal pass.
Ooh. What, even with a bonus die?
Oh, I've got my bonus die. Yeah, that's still a normal pass.
And did you say, sorry, were you saying that you were going to grapple?
Yes.
Yeah.
Try and throw him to the ground and.
Okay. He's got a 9, so he's a lot better than you. So again, whether it's adrenaline or something that's caused him to basically elevate to this very high state of alertness, he manages to roll out of the way of you completely and just keep away from the two of you. Okay, who is next? Then it is Pranit.
I don't know. I shout to whoever is willing to listen to grab buckets of sand.
Okay.
Because we're going to need those. And I'd like to get closer to the truck, out of sight of Kaur's. So left or right, as long as she doesn't directly see me from the back of a truck, if I'm able to do so.
You could probably try and keep behind one of the doors. Yeah. If you do a stealth roll, you're hoping that because she's kind of working on a spell, hopefully she's not quite concentrating on you, but I still like a stealth roll if you don't mind.
That's an odd pass.
Okay. Yeah, so
I love you so much.
She's obviously bogged down in whatever she's doing. Well, you think you know what she's doing, but yeah, she's concentrating too much on that, and she doesn't know at all that you've moved around a bit. Okay, then it is Sam. So he's still busy. You do hear more sound coming from behind you, so you think maybe he's got some people, and they start coming around from the Kikuyu Central Association. That's the one. Nails is going to basically try and grab the driver now and pull him out. In fact, he's outnumbering, isn't he? So that's a bonus. Oh, but that's even worse. And presumably the driver's going to be fine. Yeah, that's not happening. So then we have Bumption. So Bumption is going to fire at this point.
About bloody time.
Actually, is he going to fire? Yes, he is going to fire. Okay, so what's 6? Okay, yeah, cool. That's a hard pass. So this. Oh my god! Seriously, I rolled a 1 on that. So this deafening sound of a rifle goes off, and it basically all the sound goes into the truck, which creates this quite sort of deafening sound wave going through it. Excuse me. Now let me think. Oh, okay. So just want to quickly look at something. So he shoots, and it goes into the darkness. There's a little spark where his bullet goes, and you hear from where you are, Annie, the sound of presumably Taan Kaur falling to the floor.
So presumably I'm aiming at her.
Yeah, you're aiming at her. However, in terms of the lights in her hands, one of them is now almost fully formed. The blue vampire or fire vampire from the train. Although you've not seen this before, Annie. Would I be able to have a sanity roll from you, please?
Fail.
Okay, I don't think it's that much. Yeah, you only lose one, but it's definitely the first that you've ever seen of anything like this before. So yeah, you can still aim, fire all you want.
Okay. Is it my go then?
It is, yeah. So it started moving up towards you.
So I am shooting. I don't know if I get a bonus die or not, but I rolled 0-2 with the first one. So
I mean, you could use your bonus die if you want, but honestly, presumably you're going for Tan, yeah?
Yeah, Queen T bitch.
Queen T bitch. That's her name now. Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay then. So impale, definitely. Roll your damage.
Do you roll with an impale?
Yeah. So it's
Okay.
your maximum plus another roll.
Okay, so 11 then.
Okay.
Between the eyes.
Yes. Oh,
I thought it said that was extreme. I thought impale was just max doubled or something. Is that not the case? Am I getting it muddled?
No. So if you
Okay.
get an extreme on any weapon, it's either max damage for blunt, or it's an impale for guns / your sword or
Okay.
whatever.
I thought like 01 to 0 whatever it was impale, and that was different. I'm mistaken, obviously.
No.
Okay.
But in any case, so yeah, describe how you kill her, because that is enough to kill her outright.
I think it's straight between the eyes, but the question is, because it's this pop weapon, so it's got to hit somewhere critical. The question really is, what happens to the star vampires? Have they finished forming? So, yeah, she just gets the small hole appears between her eyes, and then of course blood slowly starts to dribble out, and her consciousness is long gone by the time it does.
Yeah, she's basically just slumped in a heap at the front of the truck, but the back of the compartment. But yes, unfortunately, there was enough time for both of the 5 vampires to become fully fledged now. However, before then, we have the crazy left cultist who seems to be almost like Mr. Stretch from Fantastic Four, just getting out of everybody's way. He is going to go for you again, Perry.
Okay.
Okay. What are you doing? Fighting back?
I will fight back.
Okay.
That's a fail.
What's your overall attack skill?
Brawl is 50.
50, okay, so, right. Yeah, he still fails against that. So, yeah, maybe he's lost all his energy now, but he kind of tries to slump towards you with his own club, and it just kind of brushes against your leg. So that's what he does. Charles, you've now reached the front of the passenger side and seen this happen in front of you.
Okay. Well, I'm going to go 2 for 2. I'm going to try and deck the guy who's trying to deck my good friend Perry.
Okay. Make your roll. He's going to try and fight back, but he's definitely sandwiched. So again, you get a bonus die for outnumbering him.
I don't care. It's an extreme again. I rolled 6%.
Fine.
I'm happy.
Fine.
The only unhappy bit I've got is the fact that I've already ticked the damn thing.
What's your maximum damage again?
7.
7. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So that's definitely enough to get rid of all his hit points. He's not quite dead yet, but he might as well be. So you definitely knock this one unconscious as well.
You
More
doing all
rain
right there,
starts-
boy, dear boy?
Yes, thank you for the help. He was a very tricky customer, that one.
Yes, it would appear so.
More rain starts falling at this point. And we are now back up the front of the queue, as it were. And the other fire vampire, the red one, has now also bloomed in this fiery flame and heads straight towards you, Annie. And it's going to try and burn you to a crisp. So you can of course dodge. You can try and fight back, but you might maybe not do that.
I've
this
got
time.
a derringer. That's not happening. I have. Oh, is that hard? No. Should I spend 13 points of luck? Probably. So I will turn that into a hard pass with 13 points of luck.
Yeah, that was worth doing because I passed by 1. So yeah, you just managed to weave out of its way, and you feel it almost singe a little bit of your hair as it comes past.
Oh, now
you.
I'm mad.
You feel its heat. Just it doesn't even properly touch your hair. It's just the sheer intensity of the heat. Okay. Origi is going to go and get some sand. You actually see him go off towards the police station, which is just up the road, and sort of rush in there, start making a ruckus. A certain T-bitch is obviously no more. Perry, you're up next.
Okay, can I finally get this guy on the ground then and pin him down?
Yes, again, you outnumber him. So if you want to just try and again intimidate him, you can with a bonus, or you can just try and stab him.
I'm going to try Charles's trick, and I'm just going to smack him on the jaw.
Okay, roll.
Okay, so that is an 11.
Yep, you beat him on that one.
See, it works, dear boy. Just
it does work.
Thump him.
That's a hard pass, right?
No, it's 1 point away from a hard pass. Yeah, 1 point away from our extreme.
Oh, spend the point.
Do you want to spend the point?
I'll spend a point then. Okay then.
Okay. What is your max damage on that?
Max damage. What's brawl? Unarmed is.
It's normally D3 plus damage
It's
bonus.
D3 plus your damage bonus.
Plus 1.
What? Sorry, 3 plus 1.
Yeah.
So 4. Okay, it's still enough to give him a major wound though. However, he does remain unconscious, so you give him a black eye and definitely a broken nose, but he sort of hits his head in the back of the seat. But yeah, he's still conscious. Bumpsham, he is gonna basically move out of the way of the blue vampire, blue fire vampire that's coming out. So basically, he's gonna move out of the way and dodge. He's failed, so let's see what the blue one does.
It heals him.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
Blue is mana, so healing magic.
Okay, right, hold on. What is his con? Okay, so could be worse. Oh wait, no. Okay. There's a couple of bits with this, like if you get half con and then luck and things like that. So where is he? Lost him on the list. Oh, there he is. Okay, so 2. Oh, okay. Oh, the lucky bastard. Okay. So basically, he does get touched by the blue fire. God, I can't say it. The blue fire vampire. And it catches his shirt alight. And he's obviously freaked out and starts screaming by this. He goes white as a sheet. But also, it's kind of weird. You hear this sort of this strange crackling sound that emits, and sparks start coming off the fire vampire as well. And he starts to go a little bit limp and starts slinking to the floor. You think that the fire vampire is going to leave him alone, though, in a few seconds. But yeah, it's done something to him, certainly. However, Annie, you are up next.
Okay. Is there anything I can use nearby to quench the flames? Other than the rain?
Sure, yep. There's a few fairly close market stalls with things like not sand, but things like fine grains you could possibly use, just kind of douse the flames, or spices, something like that.
Well, that'll be expensive. And what about water do the market stall vendors? Yeah, presumably they've got like water things. Yep. So I shall grab some of them and throw them over the star vampires.
Which one do you want to go for?
Closest.
To you, it would be the red one then.
Yeah.
It's going to try and get out of the way of the water.
Roll a brawl, do I, or something?
It'd be a throw roll.
Throw.
Unless you want to get really close to it and just kind of... But yeah, there's a possibility of you catching a light, so...
Unfortunately, using this pitcher of water, I have set fire to a stadium somewhere. No, I missed by a lot.
Have you got your bonus die? You could use that?
I don't want to use a bonus die on throwing a pitcher of water at a star vampire before the big fight.
Okay.
Because it's not the big fight, is it? Okay. We're not even at the mountain yet.
Fine. Well, it's basically... You thought you were going to hit it because basically it failed its dodge, but you get short and it just sloshes onto the ground. Okay. Right. The cultist on the passenger side is going to roll for con, and oh yeah, he does not move. And Charles, you're up next.
I'm actually looking for something to actually try and go and quench these flames.
Okay. Again, there are the markets just up the road where Annie went to get some. So you'd have to go a bit further up this time, but you could easily find some water near there.
Any tea stalls?
You can make me a luck roll. Failing that, there is quite a big patch of green near you, and I'll say there's a small water feature, but you would need something to carry the water in.
I failed my luck.
Yeah, there's no tea stalls.
I suddenly had the idea that it'd be wonderfully funny if we managed to take the flames out by dumping a whole load of Darjeeling on them. But
So yeah, you could get a bucket from the market stall, head over to the fountain and do that, but then that would cost you a turn because it'd be
that's fine.
Okay. Right, back up to the front of the queue. At this point, it's raining quite hard now. You can still see fairly well since you're in close proximity. But at this point, Annie and Pranit, can you both give me intelligent rolls?
I was going to say, with it raining so hard, these vampires must be feeling the pinch. Really.
Regular pass.
Okay. Yeah, from where you both are, you can see the 5 vampires moving around. And it is quite concerning that the rain is not affecting them at all.
Ouch.
You hear another thunderclap that's a bit closer than the previous one. However, Origi has come out of the police station at this point with some officers who see what's going on and are really quite shocked and confused. But obviously, it's a bad situation, so they come in, although they've only got truncheons to hand. After that is Perry.
Okay. want to climb back in the truck and climb through, pushing the driver out of the driver's side if I can, just to clear him out. I don't want him panicking and trying to drive away.
Yeah, sure. Again, because you've got nails on the other side of him, you can get a bonus die for doing that.
Okay. Okay, and that is with the bonus die. That is a 28, so it's a regular pass.
Oh, actually, no, that is still a regular. Yeah, so he puts up a bit of a fight, but yeah, you do manage to push him out. And he's probably going to take a bit of damage for that. He is. How much has he got left? Ooh. He is still just conscious. He's breathing heavily, and he's kind of trying to get back up from the ground, but Nails is basically standing over the top of him. Oh, I have missed out the red vampire. Apologies. So, the red one's going to stay on you, Annie, and again try and get closer to you and catch you alight.
I'll dodge.
You're going to dodge, okay.
Do I need to spend 20 luck here?
I've currently got a regular pass.
So I would need to hard pass. So that would be 44 luck.
Have you got 44 luck?
I'll use my bonus die.
Okay. I might give you a bonus die later, so there we go.
Can you spend luck on a bonus die?
Given it's the house rule bonus die, then yes, I'll let you.
Okay, I will spend 24 luck.
You've got to do
That's a lot.
Okay, so again, you feel it get close to you, but through sheer dumb luck, you managed to get around it.
Dumb luck and perseverance.
Okay. Then it is Kipgun Boy. So Kipgun Boy has, he's come back round, and you can see he's in view now, and he's got Kenyatta and a few. You think maybe some of the Kikuyu people who was listening to his speech earlier, and if anyone's looking, Kenyatta just, it's almost like his jaw drops as he's seeing these fire vampires, presumably for the first time. It's literally in front of him rather than potentially speculating or something like that. He's not really sure what to do. But Kipken Boy does come back in to try and help. So he starts heading to the front of the truck near where Nails is, because he sees the cultists on the ground. The police basically start going up to the locals who with Kenyatta, and also a few other people have started convening a little closer to see what on earth is going on, and they're just trying to keep everyone away. Very much nothing to see here. Come along now, go away. In a very British manner. However, Pranit, you're up next.
I'm running towards the policeman, grabbing their sand.
Yes, yep.
And try and throw the bucket of closest. I don't know which one would it be.
It would still be the red one.
All right. That's the one I wish I could go for,
Okay.
so I'm going for that.
It's going to dodge.
That's a throw roll, right?
It is a throw roll.
No, that's a regular pass.
I don't know what it is about these fire vampires, but I always roll dodge really well on them. That was an 18, so that's a hard. So unless you want to spend any luck, then again, it seemed to know what you would do.
Yeah, fuck it. I'm spending 11 points to make it an outpass.
Okay, so damage for that would be technically asphyxiation. So give me a suffocation. So that'll be a D6 damage.
That's nothing. That's a 5.
It is for this thing because their HP is not much at all. So you throw a huge clump of sand on it, and the redness almost goes out of it altogether. it's still flickering a bit, and it's almost way down by the sand, so it's kind of trying to burn through it. So it is still just about there, but it's very weak now. Okay, so that's from
Is
you.
the rain now affecting it a little bit more?
Not that you can see, no, even with it being as weak as it is. It feels like normal rain, by the way. There's nothing odd about it apart from the fact it's not extinguishing these fire vampires at all, weirdly. Sam is also going to rush in and basically deal with a couple of the bodies that are there. So he's going to start dealing with the ones at the back that you completely eviscerated from earlier. Nails is going to drag the one that's just about alive still away from the truck so he doesn't try and get back in it again. Bumption. So Bumption, what is he going to do? He's probably going to try and run away, really, but
No,
actually-
Bumption has gumption. We can't have him run.
he's literally got a blue one of the blue things on his face.
A blue vampire, come on.
Yes, a blue bonfire. Yeah, so actually, I'm going to see if he stays where he is. Okay, yes, he is. So he's going to try and get some British stiff upper lip. And he's going to just try and bop it with his rifle because really that's all he can think of doing.
That would be the right that so he's just so I'm clear, Bumption is about to try and bop the fiery thing with the standard British Army rifle with the wooden stock.
He doesn't know any better, but fortunately he misses and he clangs the side of the truck instead. However, the blue fire vampire is a bit pissed off at that, so it's going to try and get him again. And oh, no, it's not. Maybe because Bumption staggers over and it doesn't quite anticipate it. It just it misses him completely. Annie.
I dive into the fountain you mentioned, but as I do so, I sort of take over the necklace from over my neck and I kind of hold it up to keep it dry as I dive backwards into the fountain.
Okay. Are you just planning to keep yourself wet?
I'm dousing myself so that if I get hit, I get some kind of advantage on it.
Okay. Yeah, no worries.
And then I'll refill the buckets once I'm suitably soaked.
Yep. Okay.
Or the pitchers.
Cool. Yeah. Charles, you've got to the fountain. You filled it up with water, so presumably you're going to head and try and get one of these.
Yes, I'd like to have a go at the red one. My idea being is rather than throw it at the red star vampire specifically, I want to basically dump the water onto the sand it's currently sort of trapped in and hopefully kind of weigh it down with sodden sand.
Sure. I mean, it's still floating in the air, but it's just not quite as vibrant as it was.
Well, in that case,
maybe in a bit it will.
Yeah.
Okay, so how close are you willing to get to it?
Well, at this point, I know that I can't throw worth a damn, so I'm going to have to get right up. I'm going to have to get up close and personal.
Okay. Coolio, give me. It's going to still. Well, actually, if you're really close, I'll allow you a brawl roll. However, it's gonna basically fight back. So if it rolls well enough, then it will be able to catch you alight still.
Fine. I'm going to spend 9 points to make that an extreme.
Okay. It doesn't do well enough anyway. So
You're on fire, mate.
But he's not. That's the point.
Not literally.
So roll a d6.
Roll a d6. Unfortunately, my rolling low seems to have extended to my damage rolls.
Mm-hmm.
I rolled 1 point.
Oh, come on.
It was
But it's
enough.
an extreme.
Oh, it was enough.
Yes, but it's a throw, so it doesn't count with maximum damage or anything. But even so, it is enough to make it fizzle out. You think the sand coupled with all that water over it, it just sort of fizzles to the ground, and there's a couple of little sparks, but it's just not. It's not really doing anything now. Everyone else is pretty much either dead, unconscious, or whatever. The blue fire vampire at this point, it's almost as if it's become a bit lost as to why it's there, and just sort of starts floating up and up and up, and then starts heading off, wandering off in its own little fashion. And the rain gets harder at this point, and you feel you are quite drenched. However, the truck is still there. Taan Kaur is dead. The police are looking very confused as to what's been going on.
Well, that went about as well as could be expected.
Yeah, I'd like to go to the police officers,
Mhm.
point to the globe in the sky. Do you remember the chat that we had about what happened on the plane? Or the train, sorry.
They look at it and they really aren't sure what to think of it.
Yeah, me neither.
And they actually they see Bumption as well, and how seared his clothes are, and he's got some like first, possibly even second degree burns on his neck as well. And they look at him and they look at it, and did that thing burn him?
Killed a friend of ours and burned through a fucking carriage. Not a cigarette. No nonsense.
But
And for sure we didn't call it. Or whatever.
How is that? It's a floating ball of blue light, blue fire. It's like a Bunsen burner, but it's a big ball of gas, like a star.
I'm lost as you are, officer.
Well. Anyway, it's obviously going. We need to sort. Oh my God! What on earth is? And they realize that there are all these bodies near the truck. Most of the bystanders have actually gone inside now, just because of how wet it is, and most of the excitement is now gone. Kenyatta is still looking quite shocked, but he does go over to help anybody who needs it.
At this point, I want to find the commanding officer of the soldiers. Where is he?
What, as in the captain?
Yeah. Was he in amongst them? I'm sure.
No. He's not with your party, so presumably he's back at Fort Smith still.
Find the senior officer.
Well, that was Bumption, wasn't it?
Bumption's the highest ranked out of your group.
Yeah. Right. Go over to Bumption and just say, Bumption, dear boy.
Yes, sir. That thing burnt my neck, sir.
Yes, and we will get medical attention to you right away.
It did something strange too, like suck the very soul out of me a little bit.
Yes.
Oh.
Bumption, dear boy, We're going to need you to also speak to your commanding officer at the hospital, obviously. Not going to leave you here.
Right, you are, sir. And by that point, Nails has come round as well, and starts helping. In fact, he's going to try a bit of first aid.
How far are we from that fort?
We spotted the truck
literally
literally as I was walking out of it.
Yeah, right.
The fort's right there.
Yeah.
But one hopes you're slowly getting around to the point that we need all the soldiers because the things we're chasing after are actually much larger, Bumption.
It's up to the captain, madam. It's not up to me what you do.
Yes, well, I think you're probably staying here with the surgeon, but your fort's right there. But it might be a suggestion because there's only 2 of us left now. Is Nails unconscious? Did you say?
No, Nails hasn't been damaged at all. He's sorting out one of the bodies. Actually, no, I beg your pardon. He's doing first aid now on Bumption, or trying to.
Pranit?
I'd like to have a look at Kaur's ring.
Ah, the ring. So it is indeed a ring of a rather beautiful encrusted ruby, with a thick gold band. Yes, precious. And as you do you take it off her hand, or do you just look?
No, I'm just looking to see if it is still glowing and how possibly could it do that.
To clarify, it wasn't glowing per se, but given the light as the 5 vampires grew, you could just see it glinting. It was, you think, maybe just a reflection. However, one thing you do notice is as Taan Kaur is laying there, obviously she's bled out, but also it's almost as if there's a kind of a paleness that's come across her hand, especially the one wearing her ring.
I'm taking it.
Okay. As you take it off her, you feel quite vigorous.
Just by holding it in my hand, because of course I'm not wearing it.
No, you definitely feel some sort of magical essence in this thing.
All right, I slip it into my pocket.
Okay.
For further examination.
Okay. Perry, you've not spoken for a bit, so what are you up to?
I am going to take the keys out of the ignition, I climb out of the lorry and walk to the back of the truck. And when I realise what's going on, I'm going to have a little minor panic attack and start shaking a little bit. And these fires out, vampires have attacked again.
Yep, you can see some of the door on the inside is a bit charred as well, and you can see that obviously Bumption suffered a burn wound of sorts. But yeah, you don't see the 5 vampires anymore. They're definitely not here. And you're thinking, hopefully the rain is going to keep them away, because it's really pissing it down at this point.
Well, I think we've just scored ourselves a truck.
Yes, we have.
I would say so.
Definitely.
And they've even kindly loaded it for us.
Excellent. I suppose there's some dry clothes in there.
There's all more stuff in there, yes.
Yeah, there's all the luggage.
There's all our luggage.
Oh, fantastic. Excuse me, I'm just going to change and close the door.
I mean, there's quite a lot of blood that you would need to step around.
I'm drenched. I dived into a fountain.
Fair.
At this point, a little blood is not going to make a bloody bit of difference. No pun intended.
Were we expecting rain today?
It was It was on the cusp of the rainy season, but even without your, you haven't got any expert knowledge of the weather in this region, but you would presume that it wouldn't be this bad straight away, like a very kind of dry, wet.
Well, when we were
in
outside,
Africa is what
could we,
happens.
could we
Well,
see clouds?
Yeah, maybe. Yes, you can see clouds.
No, before it started raining, were the clouds in the sky, or was it fairly clear? Did this just happen?
Oh, I see. Maybe an intelligence roll.
Which is 50. 58. I'm spending 8 points to make that, if I can.
Yeah, the clouds definitely built up pretty quickly.
Right.
Okay.
And you can see that there are still quite horrible, dark-looking clouds further up towards where you're going to be heading. And you do hear another few sounds of thunder, although they don't appear to be getting closer for now. Maybe, though, if you wait too long, then it will eventually come here in full force.
Right. Well, let's get Bumption back into this fort. I have a word with the captain. Say we've dealt with the outliers of the enemy force, and we could probably do with replacement soldiers, maybe some additional ones, because where we're going next will be much harder.
Yes. Tell them we've been attacked.
Yes.
And we need extra. Yeah.
And then we'll set off in this truck because toward that mountain.
Okay.
With a Gatling gun.
I mean, you could try and get him to provide a Gatling gun with a certain charm roll, if you like.
Might be an idea, Captain. A little more firepower, given what we've seen we're up against.
Yeah, absolutely.
Even if he doesn't give any more soldiers, Pranit knows how to use it. So.
I'm going to generously stroke his ego.
I'll smile next to Charles.
Yeah.
And agree with everything he says.
You can have a bonus die.
You want me to make that charm roll now?
Yep, you can have a bonus die with Annie's presence.
How's an extreme do you?
He
He
doesn't even wait for you to explain everything. He says, yes, I understand. I may have been a little hasty to be so reluctant to help. Yes, we will provide you with well, I mean, do you know how to use such a weapon? The soldiers may have to.
Well, we'll bring some soldiers with us who can use it.
Well, yes, obviously, that's the point. But your friend here seems so eager to use it himself.
Oh no! I'm quite prepared to accept expert help in this regard. I just think that we need a big gun.
Very well.
Maybe two.
So yes, given the extreme charm as well, and also what's happened, Bumption is indeed taken to the hospital, but you can take another at least 5 extra soldiers. If you want more, then you can have up to 10.
Yes,
Want more.
All the soldiers.
Want more. No. There's at this point there is no such thing as too few soldiers.
The fact is, letting us have 5 or 10 kind of makes me think we're getting geared up for nothing. But okay, although it'll be irrelevant.
You can have more. It's probably my subconscious going, so many in initiative.
Nah, just do a group roll, rank, make them work as in your nails.
Yeah, you're right. I was just thinking actually whether it's 10 or 20, it's still going to be a group because I really can't be asked. Okay, yeah.
20 it is then. That's good.
Let's go with 20 then.
Might need another truck.
Or a regiment, perhaps.
A whole regiment would be good. I've seen the end of Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom. That regiment that comes in right at the end definitely helps them out right at the end.
Here's something to have a think about, and I was going to ask you this anyway. I know that Annie talked to Sam about, possible options in terms of getting up the mountain. And I know that you said it's up to you, but at the same time, especially given you've got a lot of soldiers either coming with you or a whole regiment coming up as well, like, are you planning to go up all guns blazing? Or are you thinking a bit more inconspicuous than that? Because again, there's two main
Why
sort
don't
of
we
routes.
fill the truck with soldiers?
Yeah, fill
basically.
the truck. Okay. Yeah.
That's how many we'll have. I don't know how many it can hold, but I mean, I guess you can get like 8 in the back of a Land Rover, and the truck's bigger. So
yeah, it's not a massive truck. You can get about 10, 12 in there if they're all kind of sitting and.
Okay.
Well, 12's a nice number.
So, if we see any of these cultists on the road, are we going to use them for shooting practice?
Well, this is the thing in that, yes, I mean, I've drawn a route on the Myra board as well. That blue route was the way that you were thinking of going, which is basically up to Vika by train and then up Vika Plain, which is nice and quick, especially in a vehicle. You could get up there, give or take a day, maybe a bit more, depending on whether you want to pull an all-nighter. However, that is the cultist's main route. So if you're going to be going up there wanting to try and shoot them, there's going to be a lot of cultists there. If, however, you wanted to go more inconspicuously, there is the other route as well, more through the forest, which is a little bit slower and potentially a problem with the truck. Even without, say, an idea roll, that many, that many soldiers is going to cause a lot of attention.
I mean, are the soldiers going to be hanging out the back of the lorry and shooting white people on the way up to the mountain? That doesn't seem very likely to me.
Well, that's true. that too, even.
Well, as long as they know that they're the bad white people, I'm sure they'll be fine with it. It wasn't that long ago they were in the trenches shooting other bad white people. It's not going to be a big.
Those other bad white people were shooting back at them, not just walking up a path doing nothing. As far as they're concerned, but walking.
Well, yeah, we can always tell the soldiers that what happened to Bumshin is what happens if they don't shoot first. That's what the cultists will do to everyone if we don't shoot first.
Look, ultimately, in the early part of the journey, those soldiers could be heading anywhere, so it won't matter. We'll just drive past them, right? In the latter part of the journey, we know anyone we see is a cultist, but we'll actually be ahead of a lot of them.
Yeah.
When we get ahead of them, then, when we get to the mountain, I mean, is it possible that us and maybe a few soldiers go up the mountain and we leave the rest of the soldiers stopping the cultists from coming up?
We could do, but those soldiers will die.
You think
they're
as
facing
well
magic users.
There's a good few groups of cultists who've gone ahead of you, and maybe even others previous days that you didn't really see. You did get guns.
Yeah. So there'll be some cultists there. We'll be ahead of some.
Yes,
but
we'll be ahead of some, but behind some more.
Yeah.
Also, apologies. When I said about a day, that is to Ndovu, which is a village, which is where Sam is intending to go. It's kind of the closest point of civilization to the mountain. From there to the mountain / around that area is another day or so, and that will have to be on foot.
We're just going to get there in time, then, aren't we?
So I would rather we take the truck. We go the faster route to give ourselves time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
we'll
the
do
faster.
that. And on the first day, the soldiers could be going anywhere, so the cultists won't be suspicious. We'll just drive past them.
In fact, we'll make a point then. We'll make a point then that for the first leg of it, it's soldiers driving the truck, so they don't see us at all. We'll all be inside the.
If they're just going to drive past them and they're walking, they're not going to be able to do anything about it anyway.
No, but yes, but Charles is correct. We should be away from view as to not arouse suspicion.
Let the soldiers do the driving for that first leg when we pass the cultists. And that way, it will definitely look like a bunch of soldiers out in maneuvers or something, transporting something somewhere. Anything other than us sitting in the back ready to pot shot them. But yeah, we shouldn't be visible just on the off chance we're recognized, because we're already known.
Okay, and as I understand it, then we have 12 soldiers and a Gatling gun. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. We do that.
Gun.
Mhm.
Right. So I guess, yeah, last minute sort of food rations, things like that. And then you head off. But before then, let's take a break.
Oi.
Do, 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 ba, do. Ah,
I kind of want more coffee, but I don't. It's like 9:30.
how strong's the coffee?
It's a good point. I don't have to put a lot of granules in. Sorry, I said the word granules there, but of course I'm far too middle class for that.
Please.
I got coffee.
This is the UK. We were actually, this is the UK. We actually had an entire series of adverts trying to sell a cheap version of a coffee as a middle class romantic love story.
Yeah.
Nescafe Gold Blend ads.
All right.
They did a whole series of adverts that was basically a continuing story of two people who fell in love over a period because they'd first met when one of them borrowed coffee from the other.
It went on for years, didn't it?
Yeah, it was Anthony Stewart Head as well. Giles for those Buffy lovers.
I was going to say with with the marriage thing, you taking Taan Kaur's ring is a bit like a reverse engagement.
Sorta, yes.
Well, I think she's going to be late for the wedding now.
Yeah.
Although in fairness, she's got a bloody good excuse.
Although this is Cthulhu, so we hope she's going to be late for the wedding.
That too. Also, hello to Matteo when he comes back in a bit.
Oh yes, I saw that way too late.
And Stephen, if you are catching up on these, hello.
And also Michael B, who also watches in the wings.
And for Duke.
Yes, and for Duke. Okay, I'm going to need to potentially look at the map.
I've not heard from Duke about this video yet. As soon as I do hear from him, I'm going to lobby that a certain person should be the one doing the Cthulhu video with him.
I think he got that point. We put that across quite a lot. Okay, so you are therefore planning to go the plains way, yes? So with the truck, and make sure that the soldiers do the driving. That way you're not spotted in theory and things like that. So you set off in the afternoon now, Saturday. To start with, you follow the railroad tracks basically to Thika. And as you've been following the tracks and as you get towards, it's kind of like a small town, really, you can already see that the trains are absolutely crawling with cultists. And they're all in these incredibly nice attires, various different cultures, European, Arabic, African, even further afield than that potentially, but all very vibrant looking.
I wonder, would it be incredibly unsporting if we shot the shit out of the steam train at the front and just stopped the train from going?
Well, you see one
here.
train. Yeah.
Have we still got those cultist robes we picked up in the UK in our luggage?
Finally, you think about all the robes that you've nabbed. Yes, so you've got. This is what you've got. You might even still have Mdaris, come to think of it, from America. But besides that, you've got Gavigan's robe, possibly Shafiq's robe. I can't remember 100%. You've definitely got Omar Shakti's robe, and you've got Taan Kaur's robe.
Well, it was a clean shot to the head, so I shall put Taan Kaur's robe on.
Okay. I mean, you'd already nicked it, so there was no issue with blood or anything.
Oh, okay.
You nicked it from the shop.
Yeah.
So
Well,
it's
there's
cool.
one itch.
One
And
each.
given the fact they are robes, I don't think they are. Do you say that? Woman fashioned or man fashioned. I mean, they're robes.
Yeah, I mean, the
So beside
Taan
the
Kaur's
collar,
robe, she's a bit of a small, dumpy woman, so therefore it's more fitted for her size. But yeah, apart from that, it's still a robe.
We'll go through the robes. We'll find ones that each fit us best.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you've got the majority of robes you've got the inverted ankh on them. And again, I believe I think Shafiq's was blue, and Gavagan's was red. Omar al-Shakti's, I think, was also red, or sort of equivalent. And then Taan Kaur's is yellow.
Can we see those colours amongst the people on the train as we pass?
No, they're still wearing
Sort of
normal clothes, but it's like their best dress, like their Sunday clothes, as it were. But there's no robes or anything like that. Taan Kaur's robe has got some rather interesting looking symbols on that you have not seen before. Although, given what you read in the book and so on, Pranit, you are starting to wonder if this is to do with the small crawler.
May I try and recall everything I learned about the cult to see if I saw those symbols somewhere else on the trip?
Yes, sure. Yeah, give me an intelligence roll.
Oh, I was thinking of a Cthulhu Mythos roll, but intelligence is way better.
Yeah, because you're still kind of remembering. And
nope. Not a clue.
Would I have seen these on any of the artifacts I catalogued at the Thingamabob Institute?
Penhy Foundation.
Mm.
I'm gonna say. Oh, actually. Oh, now you've made me think. If you have, it would be very rare. So maybe once, or you may have heard about it once.
Mm-hmm.
But compared to other like Black Pharaoh type stuff and even Bloody Tongue stuff, it's not very common.
I'm actually wondering because we've got some face masks as well, haven't we? So we could grab those or sort those out.
Which face masks?
Well, we got at least one in America, and I'm sure we looted at least one somewhere else.
I'm sure we picked up one from Gavagan's place.
Yeah.
Oh God! Now, okay. There's definitely the mask from America. Yes. Wow, this is like a blast from the past. I thought you'd just forgotten all about them, so I didn't really bother.
No, and I think they're a good way of hiding our identity when allowing us to move amongst them.
Okay. Let me just. Oh, I know what you're thinking of. There is a headdress of eyes, like jeweled eyes, that you got from Gavagan's, but not like a fully fledged mask.
Okay, so we just got the one mask.
I think so. I can't think of any other type of mask type.
Have these robes got like hoods to them, or are they just stuff?
Yes, they've got hoods.
Well, if it's okay with you guys, I'd like to take the face mask because I think I might be right in amongst them at one point. I have a suspicion.
You've already talked to several of them as well.
Yes, I have.
At the hotel, so it's probably a good idea.
Are you still intent? Are you still intent on wearing that robe from Taan Kaur?
I'll wear the one from America then.
Yeah, the reason I question is
symbols, colours, blah blah blah.
Well, no, not so much that. It's if that robe is one that's specifically hers to wear, and they find out she's dead, they're gonna wonder how the hell you're wearing it.
Just give me a moment.
Face mask or no?
Right. Yes. No, you are right. So, basically, it was now. Who was it? It was Johann Brown who disguised himself as Mundari. So he had a robe, and yes, there was like a mask thing.
Mask.
There was another mask which you got from Juju House, which you have not done anything with, but it's a lot more like a headdress with sort of a face covering as well, and it's got these kind of bulbous sculpted things atop of it, so it's quite a distinctive headpiece. Whereas the other one, it looks like a Kikuyu mask.
I'll wear that with the robe from Juju House then.
Wait, so which one? Sorry.
The Juju House mask and robe.
So again, there's two masks. So there's the one that
the one with the face covering.
The one with just the regular sort of face covering. The other one's got this kind of bulbous thing on the top as well.
No, just the face covering.
Just the regular one. Okay. Cool.
Because again, that bulbous one, I have a feeling might be a unique piece, and if it is, and they know it's missing, then
okay.
All right. Couple of things. The robes from Gavagan's house were red, and we also got two wands. One with an ankle.
Yes, you got two scepters.
Yes.
Yeah.
The Egyptian scepters. One sort of in the shape of a crook.
Yep.
In fact, I think they might both be. But yes, there's those as well.
Nice. Clearly, Charles is looking at one of these scepters and going, nice and hefty.
I'm wondering if the other people might be carrying something like that as well as part of their ceremony.
Oh, actually, no. No, ignore that. Ignore that noise I just made. Okay.
I think we have to assume, in all honesty,
there's enough.
I think we have to assume. Yeah, we have to assume anything and everything.
There's so many disparate cults here. There's going to be all sorts.
Yeah.
Because
you wouldn't get that many cults to even agree on what color to wear.
No. Which gives us. It does. I mean, it gives us a window at least.
Yeah, demographic-wise, you can definitely see various different skin colors.
Yeah.
So yeah, people have literally come from all over the world for this thing. So I'm just going to quickly write down what disguises you're going to have. So Annie's basically got Mundari stuff that Johann Brown wore back in the day when he stole them. So just Mundari's robe and headdress. Perry, are you wearing Gavagan's robe or?
Yeah, I wear a Gavagan robe. Yeah.
Gavagan's robe. Okay. What about this jeweled headdress that you found? Are you going to try and wear that or not bother?
What do you reckon? Is that too standy?
I think that's going to stop.
No. You'll be missing a headdress otherwise. You can't wear the robe of a certain rank and not have the appropriate other accoutrements of that rank.
Yeah, right.
I see where you're coming from. I just hope it is the appropriate headdress.
Yeah. We really are walking into.
You can always take it off, but you can't put it on if it's in the truck.
Oh, that's a good point. Okay, yep, the eye headdress. Or shall I go for the scepters?
There is
they
stack.
As well. Very dear boy, I'll be. I know you were talking about scepters in the plural, but I would like to have one.
Okay.
Okay, so you're going to take one scepter each.
Yes, I did. Yeah.
See, they're all thinking. See that other people will be thinking, "Oh, very nice adornments, blend in." I'm just looking at it and going, "Nice and hefty."
So are you wearing a Mara Shakti's robe then, which is inherently a similar color?
Me,
Mm.
yeah.
Okay. And one of the scepters. Okay.
And if it's just like a plain sort of mask of any kind, just of that. Failing that will be with the hoodie up.
You didn't really see any Black Pharaoh types with masks on. It was simply like a robe with a hood and maybe some accessories, non-mask accessories. Okay, and then Pranit, obviously you're also wearing a robe.
Yeah, I believe only Kaurs is left.
There's Cowers, and I'm sure you picked up Shafiq's as well at some point, which is blue, although she is a little bit smaller height than you anyway.
Yeah, whichever fits me best. So I assume Kaurs, maybe.
Yes. And you've got her ring as well.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And right. I may ask this several times, but are any of you wearing or carrying any of this stuff like equipped, or is it all just sort of stored away for the moment?
It's in the luggage.
I think we should wear it for now. Get the soldiers used to our appearance, and also, and each other, so we can spot each other in a crowd of cultists.
True. I'm just waiting to go
Yes.
insane when I put the headdress on.
I'm not wearing the ring.
You're not wearing the ring. Okay.
No. I'm scared of it.
Okay. Okay, I didn't think so. Okay.
I'll quite happily put it on. I'm not scared of it.
The ring? The ring?
If Pranit would allow it, because he's got it. But yeah, I'm not scared of it. Just try it while we're in a safe environment. At least then we've got 12 soldiers and a Gatling gun to deal with whatever happens.
Okay. All right. So
all right, just take it.
So
Yeah.
okay, Perry.
All right, I'll try it.
Perry, firstly, you put on this headdress, and yeah, kind of like when Pranit took the ring off Taan Kaur, you definitely feel like it has some sort of power, but it doesn't really do much else. You don't manage to turn it on or trigger anything like that, fortunately, because yeah, I know you're a bit worried about possibly going insane with it, but at the same time, it's almost like not that it's controlling you, but you feel like it could potentially have that much power to do something like that.
Ooh, okay. Definitely something
Could
weird
be
about
for
it.
controlling something summoned.
Well, I mean, you don't know if it's 100% going to control something, but as in it has that much power, you think, somewhere inside it. The scepters, if you're just holding them, they don't do anything. Although, obviously, they're hefty, as Charles was saying, and look Egyptian. So they definitely help your look, as in LWK look. As for the ring, when you put it on, the gemstone flares very briefly, very kind of bright red, and basically you feel very powerful. Like if you, for example, used your little flute thing, you think you would have a very good chance of that succeeding, or possibly doing it multiple times, sort of thing, etc. Also, in terms of your fly whisk and the chameleon, what are you doing with those?
Well, at the moment, obviously we've got to kill a few flies with the whisk.
Yes.
So we'll do that,
Mhm.
and feed them to the chameleon.
Mm-hmm.
The whisk itself, let's have a look at it, because you mentioned there were inscriptions on it or something. I don't think we've ever studied it, so...
Yeah. So basically, yeah, it's an ebony handle. The symbols appear to be Kikuyu, but they're quite old. Certainly from your general knowledge of Kikuyu, you could give me a no roll if you like, whether you can understand the symbols or not.
Okay. I can't, unfortunately.
You haven't passed your no roll?
I failed the no roll.
Okay.
I'm not that educated.
No, apparently not. So you heard once that, I mean, obviously they're used to get rid of flies. You think maybe quite important people carry them in Kikuyu culture, but also you don't know what the symbols say or anything like that. However, you could give me an occult roll.
Ah. Well, now that's definitely a pass.
Okay. You know specifically from your occult knowledge, in particular, magicians carry them.
Oh, I think this does some kind of spell, but I can't
Well,
read the Kikuyu.
More than that, you think maybe it's a method of protection.
Ah, some kind of protection magic spell. I wonder if it protects me from the chameleon. Genuinely, I think this chameleon gets big or something when I let it out the cage. Oh, you little cutie.
It's very happy with you getting flies for it as well. It gobbles them up.
See if we can get you something bigger soon.
Okay. So, are you planning to basically just keep on pelting across the plains? Are you planning to go on through the night?
Well, the problem is, although we've got a lot of soldiers that could do the driving, I don't think it would be particularly comfortable sleep-wise.
Yeah, still we don't have really time to lose, so
It's a case.
I'd pull an all-nighter.
Are we on a road or are we just across the open countryside?
Okay, so to start with, it's a dirt track. But the further up you go, and actually it starts getting slower going because they have to kind of navigate over big bumps and changes in the terrain and so on, which the truck is still able to do to a degree, although there are a couple of moments where you slightly regret going in a big bumpy truck. But you're still able to get to Ndovu. It's just more after that could potentially be a problem, you think?
See, I wonder if we should spend the night in the town and then head off on foot. Because there's cultists behind us, right? And we're not lost.
No, true.
But then again, I mean, it's a whole day's walk ahead. So going through the night would just be exhausted, and then in amongst even more cultists.
I say sleep.
Well, bear in mind that you set off in the afternoon, so it is going to get to nightfall before you get to Ndovu. It's whether you go through the night.
You mean Thika?
No, so Thika, you basically follow the railroad track to Thika, which is where the cultists also went by train, but then they went on foot. Ndovu is up the northwest.
Oh, right. I see. So we're already at the end of that blue line, basically.
You're getting close. So the nighttime part is more towards the beginning, if anything, than the end. So if you're pulling an all-nighter, then you could get to Ndovu before the end of Sunday. But I might
arrive exhausted.
You'll be exhausted, and that's going to cost you.
Yeah, I think we should camp in the middle of nowhere then.
Well, we've got plenty of guards.
Yeah.
And they should know what they're doing.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, come on. They're bound to take shifts at what take shifts at watch.
In pairs.
Let the civvies rest.
Buongiorno, Matteo.
Ciao Matteo.
Welcome back.
Okay, yes. So you camp in the middle of nowhere. You find somewhere secluded off the main, again, like a dirt track of sorts, and they set up shifts for you and let you get some sleep. It's fairly uneventful. Some maybe once or twice you do hear the sound of you think groups of cultists heading up, and either they've been drinking or they're just getting a little bit merry, a bit euphoric about what's going to happen. So they're making quite a lot of noise and things like that, and making it rather unnerving as they pass. Although they do give you a fairly wide berth, fortunately, from where you are. Again, you're quite sort of secluded out of the way. You do get a couple of more animal visitors in the night. There's a wild boar that starts sniffing around your packs and so on.
As long as it's not a Cthulhu type animal, we're good.
No, it's just a regular wild boar. Although they can be a bit vicious if you make them angry, but eventually it does hit on its way. And in the morning, you see a couple of rather huge-looking vultures, which are a native species to Kenya, which they did have a name somewhere. Where's the bookmark?
Fred, breakfast.
They are lammergeyers, aka like bearded vultures that are as big as an eagle. They are massive. So they're kind of doing like a morning fly around looking for carrion.
Not get any luggage from us.
No. Okay, so you set off again in the morning. And
oh yeah, they're quite big.
Yeah, they are huge. And you get to Ndovu again, sort of in the afternoon. And this is where I need to look and see what's happening. So, actually, from your general knowledge of Swahili, and also Sam talks about the village a bit. Basically, it's Swahili for elephant in Ndovu. When you arrive, there's not really that many houses at all, but there are a lot of people here. You don't know if it's just because, I don't know, they're quite frisky or they've got big families, or if they've all kind of congregated here for some reason. But they see you coming, and Sam kind of gets off the truck first, and they're obviously a little bit scared given that there's so many white soldiers here. But he does sort of try and explain why he's there. And interestingly, there are at least a couple of locals who seem to know him or know who he is. And in fact, there's one person who comes out, this more elderly looking woman, who actually embraces him and starts speaking to him in Kikuyu.
I'll try to listen. So I'm nosy.
Basically, you think maybe it's either his grandma or his aunt, or it's definitely a relative of sorts welcoming him, and so on.
Mm-hmm. Cannon fodder.
You horrible person.
No, we'll leave him there.
Presumably you all disembark the truck.
Sure.
The locals, when they see you, they immediately freak out and they start cowering away. Some of the villagers who've got, say, knives at their sides start getting rather threatened by you.
Okay, we might have to disrobe.
You see Sam again try and calm them down and try and explain something. You presumably think it's like they're not baddies or something like that.
In Kikuyu, then, I will try to say, infiltrating cultists to kill them. We're on your side.
Can you make me a Kikuyu roll for that?
Oh,
Those are some quite big words.
That's not going to end well, and it doesn't.
Oh, I can see how this can be misinterpreted.
Okay. But it's not a fumble, is it?
No, it's not a fumble.
No. Okay. All right.
But I say words like "kill you" and
No, it sounds like you're saying you're penetrating cultists.
No, you're kind of saying gobbledygook basically, and they actually start laughing. You do a my hovercraft is full of eels.
Okay, yeah.
And I have watermelon in my feet.
Mm-hmm. But in any case, again, you think Sam explains who you are and that you're with him and so on. So they do welcome you into the village. They're a bit more skeptical of the soldiers, but the soldiers are kind of happy to stay at the edge of the village anyway and just kind of keep an eye out for things. So they kind of let you in and leave you to it, unless you want to take any of them in with you.
No, but why are we going into the village anyway? Aren't we meant to be going somewhere else?
Well, yeah, you can, but in terms of the villagers, they are welcoming you in.
Mm-hmm.
They're not
Spot brunch then.
They're being very welcoming, very hospitable. They want you to come in.
Okay.
Well, I mean, as
maybe
common
there's some
courtesy.
clues here, as they're locals.
Yeah, I mean they do give you some basic food. Sam does talk to some of the elders as well, and he looks quite worried at what they're telling him. And basically, he says to you, there have been more people disappearing last night. Men, women, children. They say that some elephants nearby have also been torn to shreds. No creatures go near go near them.
Yeah. There are nasty things in the area, and your people will have been taken by the cultists. We will do our best to get them to them in time.
You think they kind of know already who's been taking them?
Do you know exactly where they are? Because we just know it's that mountain.
So they tell you of two ways basically. In order to get to the mountain, nobody goes there willingly, and they're very reluctant to go with you, but they certainly tell you how to get onto the mountain the best way, which again is about a day west of where you are, or sort of northwest-ish. Going that way though, they talk of a very unholy ground. A stretch of land which used to be a beautiful mountain meadow, but now is a terrible, very foreboding place.
Sounds like a place.
Sam actually perks up at that point and says, "Yes, that is where this expedition went, and I tried to tell the whites down south, but they did not believe me. I hope that you can be more attentive than those down south."
So we should avoid that area then, is what you're saying.
It depends how important those people are or were to you.
Oh, I see. Right, that's where the Carlisle expedition died, and we could investigate that.
Yes, I think, yes, Carlisle, I think they were called. Those white people a few years ago who went up there.
Well, we're this close.
Yeah.
So wait, I thought the cultists were going to Mount Kenya. Are you saying
No.
right?
Mount Kenya and all that area is where like a lot of Kikuyu tribes are, but Kenyatta mentioned Mount Satima, or I can't remember if it was Kenyatta or Bundari, but one of them mentioned Satima
Okay,
as a mountain that you wanted.
right. And there's 2 routes up Mount Satima. One of them is via the Carlisle expedition on unsacred ground.
Yeah, and the other one is kind of going further along the line of the forest.
Okay. So we have a choice of going to the scary place where the Carlisle died. But we got 12 soldiers and a Gatling gun, it'd be fine.
Well, they're not going to bring the Gatling unless we're taking the truck with us. They're not going to bring the Gatling with us.
Why wouldn't they?
Gatling is not something they're going to be able to carry.
Yes, you can. 1 person each side, and it's got wheels. Well, it'd be a Vickers anyway, but yeah.
They wouldn't be able to sprint
They
with
did,
it, but yeah.
They did move Vickers around, you know.
I know.
There are throughout the rest of the day there are more rumbles of thunder, and the clouds just don't quite disappear. Whilst you're up here as well, you feel not only very remote and out of the way, but there's something about the smell of the air, almost like it's charged, positive charged. It's got that sort of feeling in the air. When the grass sways as well, it almost, you can't quite tell if it's just you're seeing things, but it's as if it's not quite moving the way it should, and it's kind of shifting out of your vision, as well as other strange little details. Things like the birds up ahead. Whilst there are birds and wildlife in this area, it's almost like they don't fly to certain areas across the sky. They kind of stay, convening in other places.
So, we're going the horrible route, are we?
I'd go the Carlisle route. I mean, that's the reason why we're here, basically. Because they started it all. If you want to find information, I mean, that's where we are. That's where we're going.
Character Charles will go wherever the group is going. Player me says, we've come this far trying to find out what happened to the Carlisle expedition. We have to check this out. I don't think we've got a choice in the matter.
But is this what they were killed here at this place we're going to? There won't be much left.
Yeah.
Won't be anything left there now, though, will there?
No, but sometimes you have to see the scene of the crime to give it context, get some ideas. Maybe maybe the when we're actually there, maybe a lot of the eyewitness testimony and so on might actually will say, well, hold on a minute, if this is how it's looking, how on earth did that person see that or not see that? It'll give us some context, maybe.
Yes, perhaps. When do you intend to set off?
Didn't particularly intend to stop at this village, so.
Oh, okay. I'm just asking. Okay. So yeah, it's about 5 o'clock in the afternoon. You've still got, let's say, an hour or two of light left before it starts to get dark. It's not raining at the moment, but again, looking at the clouds, it could easily start raining in the near future.
Are we best waiting for the morning?
What day is it?
It's still Sunday, but again, you've not got much light left.
And it's Tuesday is the day of the
Tuesday is the
thing,
big
so going up there tomorrow is probably better then.
Yeah, Tuesday night, I would assume, as well, isn't it? If they're looking for the new moon.
Would
So we've got
expect as much.
2 days, effectively, haven't we?
But we'll start massacring them long before then. I put two images up, by the way, just to explain the difference. The first one is a Vickers gun, and the second one's the Maxim, both of which I believe were used in World War One.
Yeah.
Pretty sure the Vickers was around.
Yeah. You know what it is? Whenever I think of a Gatling,
You think of the Terminator?
No. I still think of that great big bloody heavy box thing they used in the American Civil War. I kind of forget.
Oh, all right.
You know, the one that was actually used a crank handle.
Yeah.
Oh, blimey. No, that's a piece of field artillery.
Mm.
Yeah. See, that when I think Gatling gun, that's what's in my head. No, this is the one you've shown. The one you put up there is far more practical.
Yeah, well, both of them.
Yeah. The wheel one would be preferable, actually, just for, you know, if we're going to be moving it.
Good.
I was thinking more in terms of it, you know, slightly easier to wheel around.
Oh, it still massacres people at a vast rate of knots, so yeah.
You know. Yeah, that was my confusion. I still think, Gatling, I think crank handle.
I think both of them, though, were really super reliable. Like, I don't think they particularly jammed. They could fire for hours, if I recall, both the Vickers and the Maxim. Yeah. Because, but there's a lot of cultists to kill, so that could matter.
Yes.
Just put 2.
I did lobby for 2 when we were at the base. I said 2. Can we have 2 after that wonderful extreme pass of charming?
We'll set off in the morning.
Set off in the morning.
First light.
Okay.
Gives us a chance to get decent rest after a day in the truck, anyway.
Okie dokie.
What time is it actually?
It's about 5 o'clock in the afternoon.
Of Sunday.
Of Sunday, yes.
So when the clock changes the next day, I get a hit point back.
Yeah.
Well, more importantly.
Oh no, you don't. Major wound.
When we're all sitting around, I make a point of trying to find enough glasses or tankards or something to drink to pour a little bit in for myself and my 3 compatriots.
I don't drink, you know that, Charles.
It's an acquired taste.
Dip water?
Yeah, water is fine, thank you.
Yeah, you can get some water.
We unfortunately we weren't there at the funeral today, so we're going to have to raise a glass.
Oh, somebody died?
She was so important you didn't even mention her.
We haven't made the funeral, so
No.
From what I can tell, that's helped you avoid being arrested.
Well, yes, but you know, we should take a moment and bow our heads and raise a glass. And
it's been a bit of a rush since we've been on the clock, really.
Yeah. It was always.
In that case, to Ms. Bavaria Parks, whoever you were.
May you be.
We will send you a dragon.
May you be hunting dragons in heaven.
Yeah.
You definitely saw, by the way, there was quite a lot of farmland around the village. And yet, there's definitely something about the ground here. So when they do bring in some food, you think that they're giving you a lot of what they've got left. As in the ground is kind of, it's not quite fertile enough. Like there's something up with it. But they do give you food, and it's not it's not tainted or poisoned at all, but it's what they've got. It's all they've got, really. They are worried. There's a very kind of tense atmosphere in the place. It sounds like these disappearances and killings of the animals and so on have gone on for quite a while. And in particular, you hear the name Mwaru mentioned a few times, at least. Like, they obviously know who she is.
Oh, I've got an idea. I show the paddle, the fly paddle thing, and say, could you tell me what this says?
Oh, okay. A few people look a little wary at this, and they start praying to Ngai. But one of the more kind of heads of the place just take it off you and starts looking at it, and Sam translates for him. And yeah, it is a prayer to Ngai in order to protect you. However, Sam does explain to a lot of Kikuyu, this is a bad omen. It is part of our culture. It was all down to when Ngai sent a chameleon to the people to say to them that we do not have to die, and the chameleon never arrived. So a fly whisk is seen as a bad omen.
The chameleon never arrived.
Hmm.
I believe he did.
Well, they see that you've got this creepy chameleon.
Yeah,
but,
I'll go back to the truck and get it.
But you think in terms of some legend that the first chameleon didn't quite make it, as apparently that's how the story went when I read it, and therefore things like fly whisks and the chameleon as well, they look upon them a bit wary.
And yet they are here. Aren't you little Who? His name's Who. No, I'll stroke its head. Oh, no, I'm not supposed to put my fingers in the cage, am I? Or am I?
Well,
I can't remember.
They never said that. They said that
All right,
you
then in
shouldn't
that
let
case,
him
yeah.
out or
Yeah,
hire
I
out.
stroke the back of its head. This is totally going to become a big chameleon, or not.
As the night goes on a bit, you start hearing the sound of merry noise from, you think, where the soldiers are. You think that maybe they're starting to have a few drinks.
Mm-hmm. May as well let them. It's their last night on Earth.
I just need to make a couple of rolls. Yes,
We're not exactly
You're
sending these guys
so
out there with
horrible.
a positive attitude, are we?
You're so horrible.
And can I do the blessing of Bast for myself of that night before I go to sleep?
Yes, you can. Give me a power roll. See if she's in.
Oh, she is definitely in. That's a 35. So that's
Okay.
well, that's 3 away from a hard pass.
Yep. So it's a D6 for your health and for your sanity.
Okay, 4 and a 3.
And given that I somewhat agree with Annie about our days on this earth being numbered, I've decided that I'm going to be very functioning.
Mm-hmm. I see what you're trying to say. Yeah. So yeah, you can have drinks, whatever. You can relax a bit. However, during the course of the night, the soldiers are getting louder. They've obviously got something strong, and Perry and I believe it was Pranit who got a listen roll. So you can tick that if it's not done already. You actually hear the sound. You presume it's nails because he's got this very strong Northern Irish accent. You hear him almost kind of shouting either to someone or out somewhere. Brady, I didn't know you particularly well, but I just want to say, wherever you are, I love you.
Do you think it is worthy to go and talk to him now, or is he too armored?
He might tell us more now.
Yeah, you think the whole loving thing is mainly just because he's had a lot to drink.
Brady was somebody on the Carlisle thing, wasn't he?
Yeah, he's the guy who's in
That
Shanghai.
escaped to Shanghai.
Mm-hmm.
Was one of the security or
Yeah.
of sorts of the Carlisle.
Mm-hmm.
That was the one that when you were talking to those guys, when you said when you were talking to the cultists at the hotel, they were saying, "Oh, I hope
He's been dealt with.
Gavagan deals with that Brady fellow."
Indeed, yes, I remembered.
That too.
Because you were asking about him on the
Yeah,
taxi ride, Annie.
Yeah.
Also, the pale viper, as we read, was supposed to deal with him in one of
Yes, that's
in a
right.
letter that Gavigan was supposed to send her or him. I don't know.
It might be worth talking to him now.
Give it a go.
I'm coming with.
Okay. So, yeah, you head on out. It's a little bit cooler, given it's now dark. It's quite hard to see as well, but there are a few lanterns lit, around the group and things. Yeah, he's sort of going on a bit about how he misses. You think he mentions the Victoria Bar and the Loyal Defender as well, and it sounds like obviously he's missing his watering holes. Some of the others kind of rolling their eyes a bit.
Do we know how the two knew each other?
I don't believe you do. However,
If we
Nails was
don't, I'm
mentioned.
asking.
Yeah, if Nails was mentioned by Elias in his papers. Okay. I do have Nails here as well, actually. Wherever he may be. Oh, it did. Maybe I didn't put him in, but he's got his own. Oh well, never mind. But anyway, he's got a pretty ruddy face, lots of like pitted skin on his face and so on. Apparently, he's only in his 30s, but he really doesn't look it. You think maybe the drink has kind of caused a bit of dermatological problems, shall we say? So you're asking him how he knew Brady, basically. This is making me go back through the book a little bit. Where is he? There we go. Okay. So he starts saying, I did meet the man once, in somewhere Asian. And he takes another swig. Hong Kong, at a place called the Yellow Lily Bar. Yes, that's right. It's near some bay called the Causeway. I remember it because it sounded a bit like the Giant's Causeway.
And did you work together, or you just were acquaintances?
No, we drank together. He only stopped for a moment, but there was something about him and his friend, although his friend really didn't say much. He seemed to know what he was doing, why he was there, and he kind of leans in a bit, and you smell the breath from the spirits and so on, and he says, I fear it a little bit now, but everybody, including myself, they always say that I'm a waste of a man, I'm a waste of space. But that Brady fella, he didn't know me and I didn't know him, but he seemed to have some faith in me, and that's how I remember him. And it sounds pretty pathetic of a man like me to say, but I remember him for that. And
What about his friend?
oh yes, like I said, he didn't really say much. He seemed kind of not really with it.
What was his friend's name?
Don't know. Didn't ask. He looked a bit worse for wear, like he'd seen some shit. Let's see. Jet black hair. He was wearing some sort of shawl thing. He wouldn't take it off, which was really strange because I remember it was a very warm night.
Can we show pictures of the Carlisle expedition and see if it's one of them?
Yeah, you can show pictures, and he has a look. Well, he kind of looked like him, and he points to Roger, but of course Roger has blonde hair. Skin looks a lot better in that photo, though, and hair definitely wasn't that color. But he points to Brady, and it is the other bodyguard that you've seen in the photos, which is also on the Miro board. A sort of quite square-jawed fellow, looks a little bit sterner than the others.
And do you know why this Brady fellow was in Hong Kong? Did he tell you?
Nah. He was a bit of a wall. He wouldn't really open up even after a couple of drinks. I don't know if he was staying there, but again, he seemed to know what he was doing. He obviously spoke a bit of the language.
I'm just wondering if it was Carlisle or the spawn of Hypathian masters.
Are you saying that in character?
No, that's me wondering.
Okay.
But Thingy was getting younger, wasn't he?
Sir Aubrey was getting younger.
Oh,
He was
Sir
getting
Aubrey,
younger.
yeah.
Your theory was that maybe Carlisle, I think, had a bit of a fling or something, or might have been involved. But yeah, it was definitely Sir Aubrey who was getting younger in the photos.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he does look a little different, but I'm sure that was him. And again, he points to Carlisle.
Interesting. Because Brady left the expedition
Because of what happened.
because of what happened.
I don't believe he would have taken Roger with him. Of all
No.
people.
There was, just a reminder, there was that photo, or one of the photos, where both of those men were not present in the photo.
Yeah.
We don't know if it was just because they were doing something else, or it could be something to do with that.
So maybe Roger Carlyle is alive. But something's happened to him. If he's with Brady, then he's one of the good guys.
As far as we are concerned, we don't know.
Well, that's definitely interesting. I don't
It's a
think we're going to
possible-
find out till we get to Shanghai, though.
It's a
Also, he
possible
may
line
have
anyway.
died as heir in order not to be recognized. But
It's
yet,
true.
what's the point? What's the point? I mean, shouldn't Brady have changed his attire a bit? Just Roger? That
I think
doesn't really
it's-
make sense.
Well, but things definitely happened to Roger, though. He was the one that removed the capstone.
Hmm.
So, yeah.
Interesting theory from Ronnie as well in the chat about the pregnancy. Or if there was a pregnancy.
Yeah, I did wonder if the pregnancy was like sucking life out
Yeah.
or something.
Or taking his age.
Oh, to speed it. So this, yeah, well, that could explain why he is, or potentially is the spawn of Hypatia.
Take 16 years off of him. He gets 16 years younger, and somebody gets 16 years older. Kind of thing.
Trade the years. Sort of
Yeah.
Well, Sir Aubrey's the one who is looking younger, and Nails is saying that Carlisle looked more sort of worse for wear than he was previously.
Dorian Gray in reverse.
No, that's the trouble.
No, we won't do till we get to Shanghai.
Yeah. But it's a thought.
Yeah.
But again, like any good mystery, we've got one bit of we've got some one little bit of an answer, but it's doing is opening up about a dozen more new questions.
Yes, indeed. However, as you're talking with the soldiers, Annie, you feel a strange feeling coming from the fly whisk, almost like it's trying to warn you of something.
Something's coming. We're being hunted by something,
And
I say.
quite quickly, you hear this huge set of wings flying above you.
To the Gatling gun.
You obviously think, oh my god, it's one of those bird bat-like things that you've seen previously, or rather Annie hasn't really seen one yet. But as this thing comes into light further, it starts circling around nearby. It's bigger and it looks a bit different. It doesn't have this kind of strange shimmering snake-like movement. This is basically a ginormous leathery bird, even bigger than a hunting horror. So just to get this out of the way, can all of you make, or whoever's outside, can you make me sanity rolls as you see this huge giant bird?
That is a pass.
Okay.
More of the questioning, Nails. Is that when I'm doing the blessing, or is that after?
I failed.
Yeah, I'll say that's during.
It's during.
I failed.
In the words of the great Lloyd Bridges in the film Airplane, while he's high as a kite on glue, it's going right at us. I failed wonderfully well.
Okay. Perry, did you pass your sanity roll or fail it?
I passed.
Okay. So, Pranit, you lose 2 sanity. Charles, you lose 4 sanity.
Ha!
Depending on what happens tonight, it may be worth keeping an eye on your 5ths, just in case you go below your 5th. But at the moment, you're fine. I'll just make a note, though, of those. -2 there and -4 there. The soldiers obviously see what's going on, and they start freaking out as well, getting to the Gatling gun and so on and so forth. And then you start seeing people on the ground, cultists on the ground, start surrounding the village. In the low light, it's quite hard to see how many there are, especially as you're on one side of the village. But one thing you do notice is that they're all wearing these strange headdresses. They're not fully masks per se, they're more just kind of like a little piece here. But you see something flopping on each of them, and you realize that they are all human tongues.
No.
I'm not functional enough for this.
Thank you for your contribution.
Okay, so it's gonna go into initiative. So I haven't worked this out for the 20 odd soldiers, but let's give them an initiative order. Okay, so they're still going to be nearly before everybody, but not quite. So Perry, you are actually up first.
Okay, so can we see any of these cultists on the ground?
Yep. So there's a few of them from your perspective that are moving towards the village. Again, because it's quite dark, you don't know if there's more of them, further around, because you're on one side of this village out in the open.
So are they ignoring the soldiers' camp where we are and just going for the village, or
they're moving in quite quick. You think maybe they're kind of wanting to get in quick and then get out quick, possibly, or something to that degree.
Yeah, they're just stealing people for some sacrifice or something, aren't they? Can I draw a pistol and shoot at them, please?
Yes, you can, and I'll just make a note that you're going to be loaded next time. So, yes, are you just trying to shoot the closest one?
Yes.
Sort of malarkey. Okay. Make your roll.
Okay, so that is a 500. So that's a normal pass.
Normal pass. Okay, roll your damage.
And that is 45 revolver, which is 2. Okay. Which is a 9.
Ooh, okay. Okay. Oh. Okay, so the one that you shoot at, you get him quite well. You think maybe near the kidney, something like that, but he definitely falls. He doesn't appear to get up either. The other 3 near him don't stop.
Oh, okay. Didn't even scare him off.
No. Sam, beg your pardon, no, he's not. The soldiers are kind of in the middle of getting themselves up, but they're obviously quite inebriated, at least some of them. Pranit, you're up next.
I'd like to pick up my rifle and fire 3 shots.
Fire 3 shots. Okay. Again, it's sort of the closest cultist to you. Are you going to go for the wounded one?
No, I'd rather take down as much as I can.
Okay. All right. So 3. You can do 3 shots, but it's going to be penalties because you're not taking any time to aim. Just bang, bang, bang. You can use your bonus die to cancel one of them out.
To cancel one of them?
Yeah, because you've got
Wow.
your house rule bonus die you can use if you
Yeah.
want.
No, I heard all of them. I said, no, why?
No, just the one.
That's too much.
Just the one.
All right. So one is a pass. The second, I spend 3 luck to make it a pass. And the third is it's an hard pass.
Okay. All right. Roll your damage for all 3 of them then.
The first one is 6. The second one is 14.
Oof. Some number.
The third is 12.
That was. I think that that could be best summed up as, "Oof, oh yeah, ouch."
Okay. Oh dear. Right. So,
Did
okay.
you do your
so,
penalty die?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Okay.
The last
so,
shot was either 19 or 29.
Fair play.
All right. So, just so you know what's there. So, Perry has basically caused the first one to go unconscious. Your first one, Pranit, you also basically cause a major wound and they fall unconscious, but you think that they're potentially still alive. The third one and your second one, you kill outright. You get her straight in the head. The last one technically was still alive, but then I rolled 100 on my con, so they've also basically died and led out. So you've got none of them running in at the minute. However, you do hear the sound of screaming and panic coming from in the village. So who have we got next? So Sam is next. Sam is going. He's still kind of in the village, so you don't know exactly what he's doing. But I'm going to make a couple of rolls. Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. What is? Oh yeah, that's right. He's crazy good with his attacks. Although damage roll is terrible there. Okay. Just keeping track of hit points. Okay. Right, so yeah, you think that there's stuff going on there, although you can't quite tell what. Nails is also going to be helping with the Gatling gun, but he is stumbling to his feet at the minute. The villagers inside the village, of course, are next, and I'm going to do a couple of rolls for them. Oh dear, they were either not prepared. Oh, they were prepared. Okay. Right, what we got is so. Okay, so I'm looking for. Ooh. Yeah. Okay. So there's more activity, and you think that maybe they're you can hear a bit of clanging going on. So maybe there's a bit of melee combat going on. Next up, you're not there because you're in the hospital. Next up is Annie.
I reach down into my blouse and pull out my feathered whistle and then blow on it hard.
Ah. Okay. Remind me, do you make a power roll for this?
It's already been cast.
Being cast, yes. But don't you have to make another one, or am I just completely imagining?
Not for it to appear.
But to bind it.
To bind it, yeah.
Okay. That is fine. So you blow hard on this whistle, and it's almost like if you think of like a giant PA system or a big sort of set of bellows, it echoes around the mountain, and everyone just stops still for a brief second as the noise carries on across the plains. Okay, now is the big birdo. So the big birdo is going to carry on. It's doing a very wide arc around the village at the moment, and you see this flash of lightning from behind it when it gets in line with the mountain. And you see more of it now. It's got this rather rectangular looking beak or maw or something like that. Really huge wings, but these are proper wings. Again, not like the hunting horror where they're sort of a bit more stripped down. And it glides round, and you think it's going to start coming towards where the soldiers are and possibly try and break them up. So you can see it starting to flap more and gain a bit of speed. Okay. Next up are the cultists. So they're going to do a couple of rolls, or those that are left anyway. Okay. So there's a couple that are just kind of involved in maneuvers. One of them lashes out at a villager. Next up is Charles.
I am, having gotten up, I'm going to get to the nearest cultist. If that nearest cultist is also sort of trying to deal with a villager, then I will head to them. Or if I see one that's kind of hurting a villager, I will head to them.
Okay. Yeah.
Even if they're not the nearest.
Yeah. The most immediate cultists in the vicinity are the ones that Pranit and Perry took care of. So they're either completely dead or they're not moving. They're unconscious. You do, however, you see a couple of cultists that are starting to come out of the village, and they're basically dragging people by the hair, by their arms.
I'm going there. I still have that lovely scepter with me. So I'm going to do my own variation of hug a hoodie. It's called Clatter a Cultist.
With this scepter, okay.
Well, I do belong to the sceptered isle.
Fine. So it will probably be a D8 with your damage bonus because it's almost like a large blackjack. But roll to hit first, if you please.
I will.
Oh yeah, they very much failed that roll.
I am going to do 2 points of luck to make that a pass.
Yep.
First time I've not actually hit the buggers.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Cool. So roll your damage.
So it's
be a D8 plus your damage bonus.
D8 plus D4. So I'll do the D8 first. Then my D4. 7 points of damage.
7. Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah, you whop him one across the head. You hear it crack, and he slumps to the ground, kind of letting go of this woman's hair as he does so. Yeah. Again, you don't know if he's completely dead, but he's definitely taken care of for the moment.
Knowing well, I can say exactly what my next action will be is to make sure of it.
Yep, fine. Yep, okay. You can be doing that for now. So back up to the top of the list, we've got Perry and Pranit both with loaded weapon or loaded guns now. Presumably you still want to shoot with them. So Perry, you're technically first to do that.
Okay. If there's another cultist dragging another villager, I will shoot at that one with my revolver.
Yep, there's a few more. So yeah, you can definitely try and shoot.
And that is a 10. So that is an extreme.
Oh, extreme. Okay. You passed his dodge roll, but not that much. So that is an impale, if it's an extreme.
That's not very big damage. That's only a 10 damage. Sorry, 5 damage.
What, with an impale?
What's that? Is that a second dice as well, was it?
No. It's your maximum damage plus another die roll.
Oh, okay. So that's 14.
To get your damage bonus.
You don't get damage bonus for your gun.
Revolver.
It's a gun.
Oh, sorry.
That's only our
Sorry.
fighting. It's 14.
Okay. Yeah, you shoot them dead. Kapow.
2 down.
Okay, Pranit, yeah, you're up next, as long as you're shooting.
Yeah, I'm shooting, and I'm shooting the flying fuck.
You're shooting the flying fuck. Okay,
Yes.
good one.
Just one because I want to really eat it and not test my luck again. That's an hard pass.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Again, I passed the dodge, but not hard, so you hit it.
I was thinking of spending 9 points of luck to make it an extreme, but 9 it's all I have left.
Ah, okay. Maybe not then.
Oh, that's 13.
Oh. Just make a note of that. So you get it in near the butt of its tail. And yeah, you definitely see it dip a little bit, lose control temporarily, and it's felt it. It's not weakened it too much, but yeah, it's, you think, a fairly significant amount of damage. Who is next? It is the soldiers next, technically. So they start basically setting up the Gatling gun to try and take out this creature. So they're busy doing that, and they're trying to aim at it as it comes towards it, hopefully trying to draw it in. Actually, I don't really have any rules for a Gatling gun, but let's just see if there's anything. There must be something in here that...
Vickers or Maxim most likely be under.
You what, sorry?
Vickers or Maxim be the most likely.
Oh, I
thing to be
see.
called.
I see. With right under. Yes,
I
yeah.
do
Vickers,
believe that in the handbook,
machine gun,
that's
yes.
word of
I've
a
got it
Gatling
here.
gun.
Yeah, Vickers 0.303. Oh, goody. Auto rules. I don't know those very well. Okay. No. I think, given there's loads, then they should have actually got it ready by now, so I think they can take a shot. However, it's full auto, so... Combat. I think this is probably the only rule that I've tried to ignore because it's auto. Okay, so... automatic fire, okay. Okay, I think they're going to try and do burst fire. So, okay. Right. Let's see if it hits. Yes, just. Nope. Okay, so first one hits it. Ooh. Oh, really? Okay, that's not as much as I would have thought it would do, but okay. Okay, so a few bullets do go kind of up from the tail, up towards near its head. And again, it sort of struggles to keep flying in its trajectory or its path. So yeah, it's definitely kind of, it's wounded it quite badly, you think, at this point. However, before then, okay, it is Sam, and Nails is technically with the Gatling gun group. So Sam is not doing very well. Next up, it is the villagers. So yeah, again, you hear the sound of more attacking and possibly some melee going on. Okay. bit more screaming and so on. And then it is Annie's go.
Okay, well, I'm doing this thing.
You are doing the thing, yes. So
I don't know how long is a round?
round is 6 seconds.
Oh, be a very long time.
And with the flute, that does help.
Call forth wind spirit is the spell. I think it takes a long time.
Summoning. Okay. Oh yeah, there's this whole percentile blah. Okay, so if you give me a power roll,
Okay.
see how powerful you draw it. Interestingly as well, as you try and focus your mind on summoning this creature, you feel something
Hard.
trying to help from your fly whisk.
Okay.
Even though you might not get any better than this, basically it gives you a bonus die.
Okay. And I got the ring as well. But the bonus die didn't help. But yeah, I still got a hard.
Okay. Right. So yeah, you feel it come quite strongly and quite quickly. So you think hopefully next round it will materialize near you.
Yeah. So I'm still blowing on this whistle, as it were. Then
Blowing
that's
on
my
the
action.
whistle. You will go on my second whistle.
Oh, you need to know how much mana I'm putting in, don't you?
Well, not for now actually, because the ring's basically taking care of that for you.
I see.
But yeah, if you do extortionate amounts, then yeah, you might as well tell me. But for the moment, if you're just putting in a few points, then
Well, I want 100% success because I'm going to sleep before I need my magic points. So
okay.
yeah.
Basically, the ring gives you a reserve of 20 points.
Now you did say doing it more than once, so and I get it all back overnight, right?
Mm-hmm.
So can I put 30 in?
Well, how many magic points have you got?
13.
Mm-hmm.
So if I put 30 in, that's 300%. So like 3 guaranteed. I'm just asking the question. You don't have to rule in my favor. I appreciate that.
Well, again, you don't know 100% if it will get more of them to you, but you definitely think that putting that many points in, you're definitely going to get it. In fact, with that many, I'll say that it comes this round.
Okay. I shall call you Cuthbert, and I'm going to ride you, and we're going to take off.
Okay. Okay. Right. Where is... Here we go.
And I will love him and hug him and squeeze him.
I will name him George, and I will hug him and pet him and squeeze him. However, as for the others who have to kind of witness it arriving, it's probably not the best for them.
Collateral.
Yes, collateral.
Which?
Okay. So, can the rest of you give me sanity rolls as this other bird vulture-like creature comes out of the air, just seemingly from nowhere, and comes down to Annie and screeches.
Oh, that's a pass.
That's a pass for me.
No. No.
Okay, so
Not even close.
Pranit and Perry, you lose 1. That is a 5, Charles, that you lose. Can you give me an intelligent roll, please? Or intelligence?
I was going to say, because that's me lost 20%. Intelligence. Oh, yes. When extremes were needed, extremes were gotten.
That's not good.
No,
You realise
That's the
me.
worst you can possibly achieve.
You
Because now you get your
comprehend
bout
this
of
creature
madness.
fully. Yeah,
Oh,
you wanted to fail that roll.
I got an intelligence of 80. How am I supposed to fail that roll?
Okay. So you are most definitely temporarily insane. Can you roll me a d10, please?
Oh, it bodes well for the big finale.
Well, you're not there yet. What's the roll, Charles?
2.
Oh, 2. You did say 2. Find the things.
Dear.
Here we go. Number 2.
Yes, number 2 is very apt.
Oh.
I'm doing an extreme amount of number 2ing at the moment.
I mean, yeah, kind of. Okay, so basically you get you look at this creature, and again you fully comprehend that it's got these alien limbs about it. The fact that Annie is somehow controlling it, or it's her pet almost, and where on earth did it come from, and it's just materialized out of the air. There's all so much for you that your legs just give way, and it's almost like they turn into lead weights. You lose complete control over it. If you wanted to try and move, your mobility is now greatly reduced. For the time being, anyway. Okay. Right, so Annie's taking off with the Biaki. What is it? Okay.
I lose 1d4 sanity actually for casting it. Oh, 4.
Okay.
Of course.
I think compared to Charles, you're doing fine.
I'd rather have rolled any other number on that dice.
Well, yes, of course. Right, so let me just do this one there. Okay, so back up to the top of the list. So it is still the shooters before the Biaki gets to do its thing. So actually, if I missed out the big bird, no, I have missed out the big bird. It's still coming towards you. Okay, so yeah, Perry, back up to you.
I will try and shoot another cultist who's dragging away a villager.
Okay, you'd have to go further into the village at this point. There's the ones that are left are kind of in the middle of a scuffle with the villagers. Some of them are trying to fend them off with knives and things like that. If he wants to shoot from here, you'd be shooting into melee. There is also El Birdo.
I've only got my pistol with me though. I didn't bring my rifle. I just got my pistol.
You were talking to the soldiers though. There's 12 of them, and 2 of them are on a Vickers, so there's bound to be some lying around.
That's true. I could pick up a rifle. Yep, that is very true. Okay, I will do that. Good idea.
All right, that'll be a Lee Enfield then. You pick up.
A Lee Enfield. Okay.
So you're going to shoot at the bird.
I will shoot at the bird. Indeed. I have.
Bird. Evil bird.
I have. That is a pass.
Here's birdie.
That is a fail for it to dodge.
Okay, so what is a Enfield? I mean, my
Lee Enfield is a 2d6 plus 1.
A 2d6 plus 1. That is a 9.
9. How many has it lost so far?
The word I'm looking for is enough.
Oh,
not enough.
That's why it's doing that weird thing. I don't know. There we go. Minus 9.
You may expand upon that word with more than.
Okay. So you fire towards this creature as it's almost upon you. Like you can see it it outstretches its claws, its feet and so on, and you see its big sharp teeth baring in this horrible smile. And you fire, it's close enough, it just keeps on going and tumbles into the ground, and you see it churn up all this soil as it's basically about to, hit you. So you can try and get out of the way with a dodge roll.
Oh, okay. Yes, that is a pass.
Okay, yep. So you do manage to get out of the way of this thing.
I just dive and I just jump to one side.
Yeah, you almost trip over its wing, though, because, again, the wings are huge and they span out a good 10 feet each at least, you think, because this thing is like size 250. Yep, that is what happens. It almost kind of gets in with the soldiers as well. They're having to kind of move out of the way of this thing. You hear some more noises going on inside the village. However, you also notice that at least one of the cultists has come out and is actually legging it, making a break for it away, without, empty-handed. The villagers are basically trying to drive them out. Annie, you're on your Biarki friends. So is there anything that you want to do with it?
Well, first of all, there's no villagers in imminent danger now, are there? So in that case...
There are still a couple of cultists left who appear to be basically trying to fight to the death, like see it out, but they're not trying to take anybody from the village anymore.
Okay, well, I shall dive bomb them, shooting as I go, and Biarki clawing if I miss.
Okay, so clawing is going to be a 55%. So you can roll that.
So presumably I shoot on the way in, and then the Biarki claws. Then yeah. Is that the thing? Right. Yep. So I shoot with the Derringer, and I hard pass.
Okay.
For 5 damage. And then the Biarki 34 would be a pass, right? I don't know what it does.
Yep. It does a d6 plus its damage bonus, which is another d6. So 2d6.
Okay. 7.
Okay. Yep. So you get a cultist. You think you've either killed it or again shot it well enough or shot him well enough that he falls unconscious. And the Biarki completely rakes another one. But you kind of have to make sure it's not going for a villager. You kind of have to keep control of it.
I'm pulling its feathers to steer it in between shooting.
But yeah, you do manage to rake another cultist. There's literally a couple of them left, and they are now quite scared shitless because of this Biarki coming in. They're not used to somebody non-linked to the cults who can control it, so they are a bit afraid of you. So they start running, and the villagers basically rush after them with their knives and start screaming at them to get out. There's more rumbling of thunder overhead, and you see a bit more lightning, but it kind of it gets a bit intense for a bit longer, almost like a bit of a light show before it starts subsiding again.
Okay. How long does this Biarki last?
It won't last much longer.
I haven't yet hit a turn, right? It's 2d10 minutes, so isn't it? Is that... Am I understanding that right?
Yes, 2d10 minutes. Yeah.
Okay, so I've got it for 10 minutes. What I'd like to do with the 5 minutes, I'm basically going to fly out for 5 minutes towards this thunder. I'm going to recon, basically toward the mountain. So I'll fly there 5 minutes, get as close as I can, as high as I can toward the lightning, and then I'll turn around and come back.
Okay. So 16 fly. Okay, so I mean, you get a little bit closer to the mountain. Let's see. What do you see? Where is rolls? There we go. Oh, you got a hard pass at a spot hidden. Okay,
Ooh.
so you definitely see what you think is the massacre site. From where you are.
Okay.
If you imagine a giant branding iron has seared the ground, it's just black, burnt. There's these rather horrible looking what used to be vegetation of sorts that's all kind of mutated and I guess wrapped around itself, trying to sort of cover the area. There's also you see nearish to it, there are a couple of elephant corpses. You think they are? They're big animals, and you can't really think of anything else bigger than an elephant, apart from say another one of these bird creatures. But yeah, it looks like an elephant. They are torn to shreds. You can see these like little glints of purple, like purple slime, you think maybe, or blood or something coming off one of them. And nearer to the mountain, again, you're not like making loads and loads of ground, given it's a whole day away, but you do notice that there is this weird, strange green vegetation the closer you get to the mountain. You feel again something from your fly whisk, almost like an indicator of sorts.
From this vegetation.
Either from the vegetation or from the mountain or something, but you get the sense of there's some sort of evil presence here, which is kind of obvious, but yeah, you get that feeling from the fly whisk.
Huh. Okay. But I don't see any other cultists in the area or fly things or anything.
Oh, actually, yes, you would, yeah. So you see a good, let's say, 2 or 3 groups of cultists who are making their way up. They're close now to the mountain. You can see them going along a ridge of sorts.
Mm-hmm. Okay, well, I'll take a few pot shots and fly back.
Okay. It's a way away. With a derringer, that's probably not going to make the...
won't work.
No.
Okay. All right. Well, I head back then.
Okay. Charles, you've got your legs back, at least as much as you think you do, given you've drunk a lot. But you're going through a phase of underlying sanity now, and actually no, I beg your pardon, you're indefinitely insane. So any more loss of sanity now until you stop being indefinitely insane, another bout of madness will happen. So you are feeling freaked out.
Mummy. Oh, mummy.
And it does feel quite warm in your trousers. Like
As I say, number 2 would definitely be low on the agenda.
Mm-hmm.
I think I need to be. I haven't been this way since that strange bachelor do. 3 days away, and I woke up drunk and soiled in the middle of Scotland. And given how well the Scots put it away, that's saying something.
So the villagers, some of them are a bit wounded, but they've not taken major casualties. Unfortunately, nobody was taken from the area. But obviously, they're recovering. They were panicking a bit for obvious reasons, and the soldiers are picking themselves up now that this giant bird corpse, or rather leathery, dragony thing of some sorts, is just still in the ground. Is there anything else you want to do before the night draws in?
Land, say goodnight to Cuthbert. Give him a hug goodbye.
Yes.
Well, other than helping around the village, if
Yeah, we
anyone
should
needs
help.
anything, I'm not doing anything else.
Okay.
Yeah, inquire if we can make them vicars on Cuthbert. And
I think it's big enough. I don't know if it's strong enough though. But yeah, that's a good point. Okay then. In that case, I guess you might be able to sleep during the night, depending on how you feel. I'm looking at you, Charles. But I think that's a good place to draw this session to a close. And next time you will be trekking up to the mountain itself.
Cultists!
Where the
Cultists on
climax will
wings!
definitely be happening.
Yes, that was a eventful session.
That
Yeah,
was a
not-
handful, yes.
Yeah, not a lot happened.
It was a country crawl.
I agree. It was country. Yes, I certainly agree with the first syllable.
Yeah,
Oh boy, that was difficult.
it was.
Well, I mean, I said right from the beginning, Ronnie, with Charles's character, if you go into a bout of madness, you're going to be indefinitely insane because it's 25 sanity that you've got.
I got a lot more now, but still.
Oh yeah, true. You got about
I was at
48.
48 when I started today.
But you have lost 9 now, which is still the fifth. Well, I hope that was okay.
That was great.
Yeah, it was.
Things are heating up.
Definitely.
Who is doing recap next week? Is that Phil?
I believe it is.
Is it? Okay.
I may have lost track.
Well,
I've done.
Ronnie did it before Giorgio. When did you do yours, Becky?
I don't know.
Well, I'm the start of the cycle because I did the first one when we come back. So.
Oh. Okay, so it's either Becky or Phil then.
I'd have to go back over and have a look to see whose turn it is, but I can do it. That's fine.
Well, right now I remembered what happened, so it could be me.
Kitty wants to do the recap by the sounds of it.
Yeah, you do, don't you, Kitty? Just record this. She's about to do it. Where you gone?
Recap, Kitty.
Hey, gonna recap. She's this way. Meow, 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 meow.
You need a flute.
Meow, meow, meow.
I bet she's looking like, how did you manage to make 5 grammar mistakes in 2 meows?
Come on, Kitty. Come on. Yeah. I blink at you too.
She's so camera shy. She's so camera shy.
Come on.
Oh dear. Okay, well, let's leave it there then for tonight. And thank you, Matteo, for watching, and Steve, if you are doing so later, etc., etc. We will see you next week for the Evil Cat of Doom.
That's out of
So out of
focus.
focus.
And she's off. She's
And
off.
she's off.
She knows.
All right.
Bye bye.
Good night.